the side that Baldwin have in today. If they can keep that side on the park for a few more weeks, they'll be very happy with that. But Doncaster East have been just as impressive as Rowville, Ray, in terms of where they come from. Both sides, I think, finished, 11th and 12th last year, or 10th and 11th?
Something like that.
Something like that. And now they're both, if things go their way, they could both be playing, deep into September.
Yeah, look, at the big thing about Doncaster East, you've got to look, they had 2 huge victories because they beat Noble Park and Rowville, both at away venues.
And if they can roll Baldwin today away from home, they'll be a strong case to be the premiership favourite.
Yeah, but the only thing against that, to me, if we were looking at this game probably 3 weeks ago, I would have picked Doncaster East. But I just look at the players that Baldwin are getting back, and we spoke to Rodney Eade last Sunday on the Monday recovery, and he also agreed with us that they're just starting to play some really good football.
Imagine, like I said, getting Jeff Goebbels back into the side this afternoon alongside some of those other, Eli Templeton, just to name 2, Chris Pendlebury. I mean, it's almost like they're getting the band back together again, Ray.
Sounds like us here on the radio today,
wow. Who's more important to their side, Jeff Goebbels or Ray Baird?
I think...
Well, I know the answer, but I won't say it.
Yeah, exactly.
But look, Jeff Goebbels, he would have been out of his comfort zone playing a couple of reserves games.
I was talking to people in the office, he wouldn't have played reserves ever.
I don't think he would. And I remember back, you might be able to tell me the year, Bresh, when after they won that grand final, he said, I'm retired on this day. And 5 years later, he's still playing.
I think that might have been the year he kicked that long bomb on the half-time siren.
Yeah, it was.
2016, that's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago, yes.
But I mean, and put it this way, but as a genuine EFNL lover, it's great to see Jeff Goebbels back on a footy field because he is on his day. He is one of the premier players in this competition, and it's just great to have him back on the park again.
I think what it will do as well is it'll just add another. I think last time we watched Baldwin was out here, Brash, and I want to ask Steve views about Ryan Morrison and Joshua Tua, but they were probably the key to Noble's victory. Morrison won the battle with Jordan Lyle, and Josh Tua, I would split the difference with Haley, but splitting the difference with Charlie Haley is something that not many players can do. So I think that sort of thing. Now adding Goebbels, all of a sudden when Noble play Baldwin, like again, let's say in a final, Tua will go to Haley, Morrison will go to Lyle, and then they'll go, someone's got to go to Goebbels, or someone's got to go to Matt Casey. So if they can get their best 22 on the park, they're going to have so many attacking weapons. But so far,
that's the other thing.
So far they haven't been able to get that consistently.
It's amazing what you can do when you've got 4 or 5 quality players. You actually can pick 2 of your players and you play through them, right? And then you just use all the others as decoys, Ray. And that's where the havoc begins.
And the last time we were here, we thought the reason Noble beat Baldwin was their bottom 6. We thought that we could easily name 5 or 6 players from Baldwin that weren't up to level. We couldn't name anyone from Noble. In fact, Kevin Keane was one of the players I was really impressed with last time. He's running around in the 2s, such as Noble's depth. But today, Baldwin don't seem to have a weak player on their list. And
let's go to the other end of the field as well. To me, getting the best full back in the Eastern Football League in Pendlebury, in my opinion.
Well, they've got Pendlebury
back into that side.
I think it's Thomas Freeman, and the 2 of them are, from all reports, not just good defenders, but they provide, they start attacks. So to have 2 players of that ilk, Baldwin, if they can keep that 22, obviously I don't think Eli Templeton or Kinshota, they won't be able to play in finals, but if they can get the rest of them, they're still missing Schreiber, who got a late call up to Collingwood with the VFL last week. But let's move on to other games in Premier Division. The bigger one is at the bottom end of the table, North Ringwood and Doncaster. North Ringwood win today, Brash. They will set up a final day playoff with Berwick to stay alive. Do you think Doncaster will do them a favour?
No.
Can I elaborate? Or
no, look, I know it's funny when I'm trying to look and analyse the way I see it. I need to see some. I need to see continuity. I need to see some winning, and I'm not seeing enough winning from North Ringwood this season. I reckon Doncaster have had their moments. They've beaten Rowville. I think they've been highly competitive against some of the other sides, Ray. And I think that at Shrams, I think they they fully deserve to go into this game winning and being favourites today.
Look, I agree with you, Brash. Look, and as we discussed, Matty, a few weeks ago, if Doncaster can snare a win and get up to 7 wins, it gives them some recruiting power for next season.
So if they win this one, they'll probably finish on 6 wins. I think.
Well, 6 wins.
I think their last game is Noble, and I'm not sure who they play next week, but I don't think they'll win it. But yeah, I think Norwood are in a similar boat there. They play Park Orchards. If Norwood win today, they'll get to 7 wins, and whilst they'll be disappointed, given that a lot of us, including myself, had them in the top 3 at the start of the year, there has been some circumstances around a Brash. So to finish with 7 wins, they can maybe look around and it'll be a bit of a review. Do they think that there was circumstances beyond their control that led to them finishing outside the top 6, or do they think they were ill-prepared, and we'll see how they attack next year?
Let's just say out of all the other sides, Matt, that mathematically or whichever way you want to look at it, if Blackburn are vulnerable, I just think out of all the other sides, I reckon Norwood is probably the only other side, mainly because of after what I saw last week between both Park Orchards and Vermont. I thought I like I said last week, I think both of them sides look shot.
Yeah, I think Park Orchard's first year up, they'll be tiring. It takes a lot out of you, and Vermont, it's pretty much a first year up because it's pretty much an under-21 team. I agree that Norwood's probably the only team that could, of those mathematically still in it, but Blackburn would have to royally bottle it. Blackburn have got Berwick today, who I know it's at Berwick, but they should win that comfortably. Yeah. And then I think they've got Vermont and Park Orchard. So Blackburn should at least get a win there.
Just 15 minutes ago, I was talking to a goal umpire who umpired Blackburn last week, and he umpired them in those round 1 game. And he said they have improved 100%.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's come over the last probably 3 weeks. You know, but they're going to play finals. There's no worry about that.
I think the best thing was, obviously we saw their first 2 games. I think they've adjusted the way they've played. They know they can't play that open style anymore that they were trying to implement back in 2019 when they had probably their best side ever in Premier Division.
Well, Bathy's out today, is he?
Bathy's not named today, so
I mean,
to see how they play it. They should still have enough for a Berwick side that you talk about Park Orchards and Vermont being shot. I think Berwick are the definition of shot. It's taken a lot out of them. They came into this year with a very, very young list outside of Rutherford, Tuck, and the likes of those. And Tuck's obviously been in and out a lot with concussion, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
So they've pretty much relied on an under 21 team as well. So I think they're running out of gas as well.
And Rutherford's had a fantastic season for Berwick, Ray. He's having a look through his stats. He'd be in their top. He'll win their best and fairest, and I think quite comfortably, averaging 25, 26 possessions. And look, he's a class footballer, but he can't do it all on his own.
No, you need help around you, Brass, that's for sure. But I look at Berwick, and I think that at the start of the years, I really thought that they would be probably middle of the road.
Yeah,
but
I thought they'd be higher.
You look at their injuries, and one of their key injuries was to their key forward,
Harry Money. Yeah, and he's
a huge loss.
He's not. I don't think he's quite as good as Charlie Haley, but he's pretty much the same player.
He's in that bloody nuisance mould that he gets under the skin of the opposition and he kicks goals.
As much as North Ringwood haven't played anywhere near to their ability this year and are still likely to go down, I personally don't want to see Berwick go down. I want them to stay in Premier Division because it's a really good advertisement for the competition in general that a team like Berwick can still, even though they're struggling, they still hold their spot.
Look, Bash, I think all in all, at the end of the day, look, we all got our, ifs and buts and all that. But to me, I think without a doubt that North Ringwood will be the side to go down.
I think as much as I'm willing them to win against Doncaster today to set up that final day playoff, I agree. I think Doncaster have shown this year that they're way, like Doncaster are one of the only 2 teams to beat Rowville. So for them to somehow lose to North Ringwood would be quite a turnaround. And to be honest, I think for North Ringwood on a whole, it might not be the worst thing in the world to go down and reset because they're less demographic. We talk about Berwick and Vermont being young, but there's been injuries and so on. North Ringwood's very young and their 19s aren't going to make the finals, I believe. Whereas Berwick's 19s, I think, premiership favourites or thereabouts.
Yeah. But North Ringwood, though, they're not only young, but they haven't got any big bodies. That's the thing. Their whole side's about the same body size.
That's why they're the handball kings. 200 more handballs than any other side in the premiership. That's a lot of handballs. Yeah. the other game there is South Croydon and Vermont, Brash, which 2 years ago was the marquee fixture of the Eastern Football Netball League, and today you'd expect South Croydon to get their 4th straight game where they've kicked over 20 goals.
I agree. Look, Vermont, they fell in last week. They had to fight tooth and nail for that victory. They just don't have the guns out on the park. They've picked up some of their...
They're pretty much unchanged from last week, which will be an improved performance. But South Croydon, as I was saying, they're averaging 130 points the last month. And even taking to some South Croydon people, Ray, they agree with you that they're probably going to go into finals not having beaten anyone. Well, they will go into finals not having beaten anyone above them.
Yep.
But they will go into finals off the back of 7 straight convincing wins, I think.
Yeah, but and the reason to me, and I'm prepared to be shot down here, is that those wins that come with those big margins because they've been played at Cheong Park.
Oh yeah, they have. And that's just obviously they played all the ones away at the start. So.
I think at the end of the day, you can only beat what's put in front of you on a Saturday afternoon.
Exactly. And I think they're still playing good footy. I think we just need to, and I think that's the thing. They'll have their own markers. It won't just be beating Vermont today.
No,
it'll be keeping Vermont under 10 goals, and it'll be hitting over 100.
And they'll be happy and they'll be looking at kicking another 20-goal performance as well.
They do that. They can still keep trying to edge closer and closer to at least playing at Bayswater Oval rather than Central Reserve. We're going to go to our first break here on the Eastland Match of the Round pre-game. When we come back, hopefully we'll be talking to both coaches ahead of this big one between Noah Park and Rowville.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, well, yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't.
Check
It's
1, 2.
Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
The warm-up continues right here on EFL Saturday.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pat Wright Senior Oval for today's big Eastland EFL match of the round between Noble Park and Rowville, 1 and 2 in the Premier Division. So you could argue, maths would have us say that they are the 2 best sides in the whole competition. I'm Matt Ferry, joining me Ray Baird and Wayne Brasher for the pre-game. We are expecting both coaches at some point, but they love their pre-game Ray. You know, both coaches said it from quarter time in the reserves to half time. They're in there talking to their players. I don't know what about.
Well, they've got their
You've
regular...
coached. You've coached.
They've got their regular, you know, structure that they keep to, and they don't want to get outside of that if possible.
When you coached, Ray, how much of the reserves did you take up talking?
I didn't coach,
no?
mate. No, I didn't coach.
No. When you played, though, how long of the reserves game was spent talking to the coach?
Mate, I can remember we used to get there 15 minutes before our game started, and that was
Smoke in one hand?
Yeah, smoking a beer at quarter time. No, not quite, mate.
What about Brash? You've spent a lot of time in Vermont change rooms with David Banfield. Did he love to chat as a teacher? Did he lock him in for a half or so? Or
David Banfield was fastidious.
Yes.
Right. He had to have all his he had to have his speech exactly at the same time. It was regimented. He did everything about with David Banfield was military precision.
Yep. And he teaches horticulture.
I don't know.
Well, you've got to have the plants in a row, mate. You
exactly right. You can't be.
Place.
You cannot
That's
just be
right.
willy-nilly when you're growing plants.
I always remember with David Banfield, him and I used to have our little chats on Sunday morning after each game on Saturday.
He used to be in the gym, didn't he?
Yes.
Did you used to lift weights with him, Brash? Or?
Oh no, I just watched him. But the thing is, the one thing I loved about David Banfield, he was a student of the game, and there wasn't anything that you could ask him. He knew everything about every single player.
He still is.
Yeah.
And he's got a son playing up at Vermont who unfortunately got injured. He's
Harrison, isn't it?
Yeah, he's on Box Hill's list. But I tell you what, he's a good little footballer in the making, I reckon.
We better get off the gym and ex-coaching.
Matty, look, I think coaches of today, look, what they've got to say, they say that on Thursday night. I know after that, I've been out of Rowville the last couple of weeks, they have their team meeting after team selection, and coaches have their say there. I don't think they want to put too much information on game day into their players.
No, exactly.
They might just have a little word, you know, about a couple of things, and then you look at quarter time, it's the line coaches that do most of the talking anyway.
From a playing point of view now as well, it's just calming the nerve. It's getting out. It's just relaxing with your friends. You don't want to spend too much time focusing on what could be. You know, you just want to relax and not overthink it.
I think it's.
Let's jump down in Division 2 though, because we've got a couple of talking points now. Ray, I think I need to apologise to you. A couple of weeks ago, I forced you to put Basin in your top 5. Today,
he had my arm twisted up my back.
Exactly. If they lose today to Templestowe, and given Templestowe's recent form, you can make a strong case that the Dockers are favourites out at Batterham. They're done.
Yeah,
the season will be over.
Well, look, I only saw them in the night game against South Belgrade, but I've looked at their results, and to me, they lack firepower. They lack goal kickers.
I think they have goal kickers. They lack synergy. I think they've got too many sort of, not big egos, but those sort of players that need space, and you can't do it at Batterham. I think they had a nice blend last year at the Basin. They were very young. Everything was young. There was a couple of star players, but there was no real big senior players that demanded certain things. I think they've just maybe over-recruited.
Yeah, maybe so. But no, I just didn't. I didn't go with them, but it was only you twisting my arm, made me put them in there.
Basin, twisting your arm?
Old rubber arm, Ray.
Well, I just thought that they. Well, I only go by the game I saw, and to me, when they got the ball across the half-back line, you know, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and go down the corridor, but they seem to crisscross little passes and muck around with the ball, and eventually it gets turned.
Which is a weird game style to develop at Batterham.
Yeah.
I find the Basin, Ray, I'm going to go one step further. They do my freaking head in every time I'm trying to sit down and analyse them, because I cannot pick them. I really cannot pick them. The difference between their good and their bad is chasms, and I just can't comprehend when they're going to put their best side on the park and when they're not. Whereas today, they are going to the last chance saloon today, the Basin, and I think Templestowe is going to send them off very nicely, because I think Templestowe, for mine, they're just working into some very, very nice form. And that man, Cameron Cloak, is looming large as the finals come near.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. Their football they're playing at Tempe now is completely different to what they were dishing up early in the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And as Brash is sort of saying, that their recent form, not only are they just winning games, but their betting sides above them.
Yeah.
Which the Basin and Heathmont, the other two sides in the running for 5th spot, just haven't been able to do on a consistent basis. So on the balance of things, Templestowe deserved that 5th spot, but unfortunately this year, Heathmont and the Basin somehow just seem to fall into it and you know, Heathmont play East Burwood at home, Brash. Do you give them any chance? I had a look at their side. Trent Wynn is getting a debut, but it doesn't look like the strongest side, and East Burwood have been pretty good this year considering they came up a division.
Put it this way, my mind hasn't really changed. I still think East Burwood, they've beaten Ringwood. They ran South Belgrave to a goal. They played very well that day. Just a few little mistakes and maybe 15 minutes of football put the game out of their reach. But we've seen them earlier as well. Look, I think that I think they'll beat Heathmont quite handsomely. I'm looking at about a 5-6 goal win for them today, Matt.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brash. I agree totally.
I think, but this division has sort of opened up a little bit, though, hasn't it?
It has.
Since maybe Queen's birthday, when we were doing a bit of a preview and pre-game chat and so on, we sort of thought Division 2 was pretty much run and done. But over the past 6 weeks, it's opened right up. South Belgrave, whilst they've continued to win, they haven't had that same authority or just, you know, clear chasm of using a word there that you just used, chasm there between them and the other sides. Ringwood have been impressively ruthless against some sides, but have, you know, slipped up against Templestowe.
Well, they were pretty ruthless last night, weren't they?
They were ruthless, 125-9 over Knox. And then you had East Burwood, you know, as much as you're quoting that, they got rolled by Baronia at home, and then Baronia weren't able to beat Templestowe. So it has completely opened up. So it's become quite an interesting division.
Well, the thing is with Baronia, I don't reckon they're going as well as what they have been. I still think that they're lacking something against those top two sides. There's something that's
if Templestowe were to make it, I would back Templestowe to go deeper than Baronia.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that, for me, Baronia they probably need Ray, a Taylor Leggett playing consistent football in form, and they've got and Mitch Mallis in that side for them really to challenge those top sides. They need their absolute best side on the park firing, I reckon.
Yeah, Breast, have they got a midfield that can get the ball into the forward zone enough?
Well, if Mallis is there, he provides a lot of the inside grunt, but he also can play outside as well, and they really are missing that. They just don't seem to... I don't know with their forward line, whether their forward line's a bit one-dimensional, Matt, with Fairchild and Robinson at times. Their forward line's a bit enigmatic.
I don't think they have a natural stay-at-home forward. Robinson likes to move around a lot, which is obviously, if it works for him, he's kicked over 50 goals this year, but they don't have someone they can always just dump kick to. And I think most really, really strong sides, you know, it'll be interesting to see how these two teams actually play it, because especially Rowville don't seem to have a player I think they can just dump the ball to down the line. But I think that's what's missing for Baronia. They are always just missing one little piece. Division 1, I said yesterday on the podcast, Ray, I think it's the easiest round of tipping I've ever seen. Okay. I don't think there's going to be any chance of an upset. East Ringwood play Upper Gully, Mooroolbark play Croydon, Lilydale play Wanturna South, Montrose play Bayswater, and Mitcham play Beaconsfield. I don't see any of the outsiders winning a game here.
Well, the only thing I'll say is over there behind the shed, over there behind the goal, there's a huge rock, and if you get one wrong in that division, you can go and hide under it, mate,
reckon?
because, you know, you've come out and said that, so the pressure's on you.
I reckon, though, there's probably only one game, I reckon, that an upset could brew, and it's that Lilydale Wanturna South.
Well, you mentioned that, because Wanturna South... Across all years, Lilydale are their one bogey side. They cannot beat them.
Up there, they don't win.
They've beaten them 3 out of 32 or something like that. You know, but surely today, Brash, because if Wanturna South, the thing is, if they lose that as well, they'll fall into that little three-way battle with Croydon and Montrose, and all of a sudden Montrose could even finish in 4th. It's all rudimentary, of course, because 4th and 5th are pretty much the same. But
I think I'm a little bit concerned about Croydon.
I think if you had Croydon are done for me. I think I don't see them beating Mooroolbark today, and then you would have to say Montrose will go into next week as favourites in that playoff.
I just think that.
What's their last sort of 5 games been? I think they've won maybe 1 game of their last 5 or something like that, Croydon.
Yeah, well, they've won 2 out of 6. Well, no, they're 3 out of 6, but
that'll include Upper Gully, Beaconsfield.
So that's the thing. Matt, you and I have always agreed this year that Croydon just don't kick enough goals.
Yeah.
Well, Constantino, I think he's going to come back through the reserves today, but he was the leading goal kicker in the comp last year, and without him, they have been shown to not even be one-trick ponies. They have no tricks.
To be honest with you, I would have, if I was Morris, I would have thrown caution to the wind and put Constantino in, because for me, I think it's do or die for them today.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to be joined here by Rowville coach Ben Wise, who this will be the first time.
Yes.
I think Ben will have joined us on any sort of pre-game. When was the last time we did a Rowville game, Ray? You've been telling me for weeks and weeks that we need to come out.
I reckon it was back Rowville, Vermont, and Rowville kicked the goal after the siren and won, which is probably about 10 years ago. And
well, Ben wasn't coach then.
No, Ben wasn't coach.
That's what we're saying. That's the last time Rowville have been on the radio.
Ben, thanks for joining us, mate, on the pre-game. It must be exciting today. 1v2 out at the Bull Ring as well. A chance to maybe lock in the minor premiership and win away from home.
Yeah, it's always fun to come out here and tackle them when they're at full strength, and really looking forward to the contest, mate.
You haven't played them since round 1, so what are you expecting? Obviously, I'm sure you would have watched some footage as the years progress. How do you think their game has evolved from that round 1 game? What are you expecting from them today?
Yeah, pretty similar. I think with most sides, you sort of want to be pretty consistent with the way you start the year and the way you want to sort of go through. They've obviously tinkered things. New people have come in and out of the side, but the way they defensively set up really well. They start their attacks from defence, and I expect it to be the same. And obviously their midfield's first class. So,
Ben, there's a saying that God created man in his own mind. Has Ben Wise created the Rowville side in his own image?
No, I don't think I've done that. No, it's been nice to just get a group together and. Just be able to give them the confidence and belief, just the way we want to play, and they've all bought in. And I suppose once you get young guys doing that, they follow suit, and they've been really impressive.
I was very lucky early in the season to come and watch you down at Norwood in round 3, and the thing that really impressed me was the tough, uncompromising football that your side brings to the park and puts the amount of the pressure on the ball carrier. For me, is the thing that really has impressed me about Rowville this year. Is that something that you've been working on that side conscientiously?
Yeah, a little bit. In this comp, you've got to be able to win the footy. A lot of the grounds are pretty small, and if you can't win your own ball, then you're going to struggle. Especially come finals, the pressure goes up, and obviously the top sides they bring the heat. So if you can't do that as a young player, then you're going to really struggle. But I've just been lucky enough that all these guys want to have a crack, and building that around sort of a young, quick side that can crack in. It's been really good.
Benny, Bresh stole my thunder a little bit there, but I'll go on with it anyway. Look, you must be really wrapped the way that all these young
could
kids...
autopilot this. You probably asked them.
The way that these young kids have really put their bodies on the line, and one particular facet of the game that I like that Rowville are playing this year is the way you run out of defence in numbers. There's always backup players there, and you'd have to be very... Look, it's a game of the round without a doubt, but you would certainly back your boys anyway.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, I definitely would. It's the work rate and the two-way running. You've got to have both sides of the ball sorted, offensively and defensively. And if you don't bring that, you're going to get opened up against quality opposition. So it has been. We work on it a lot. You've got to. So if you don't bring the two-way running and the effort and defensive stuff, you're going to get opened up. And I suppose that's been our biggest growth from last year. We blooded a lot of young kids, and we're getting opened up defensively because a lot of young kids these days know how to attack and know how to peel off and run. But I had to sort of realign them a little bit to make sure that they've got to learn defend first a bit and then get on your bike.
My colleague here, Bresh, before we come on air, was talking about your captain, Brolick, and he said, Bresh has been playing him down a bit and saying to me off air that, he didn't think he's been doing much. But then he's looked at the stats and he's absolutely amazed at the stats Brolick has got. And I've said to you many a time, it's the little things that Anthony Brolick does, the little hand passes, the little shepherds.
Yeah, no, I rate him as high as anyone in the comp. He leads extremely well. He's team first, and that's what makes him a good captain. But he can play inside, outside, defence, forward. He can do whatever I need him to do, and he just does it week in, week out. People may not see it, but I've had a first front row seat all year, and I've been really lucky to get him back full time. He's a superb talent.
Well, I will say this, Ben. Anthony Brolick is the man for the occasion. When there's a big game, and I've seen him perform it in other disciplines.
Yep.
When there's a game there to be won, Anthony Brolick is there front and square. And once again, I think he gets another opportunity this afternoon to show reason why he's one of the premier players in this competition, because he thrives on games like this.
Yeah, he does. And we've got a couple other guys that sort of really love the contest like that as well. The old skipper that Brol's taken over from, Alex Frawley, mate, he's going to be front row as well. He loves these games, and when you're coming up against probably one of the best midfields in the comp, these guys don't need much motivation. They know what's at stake, and I'm sure Hughesy would have got into their mids as much as I would have got into ours. If I was a coach, I would be picking Alex Frawley. He'd be one of my first picks. I would honestly say that. The thing he
is,
has been for 12 years.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. The thing that really impresses me about Alex, is those things that you don't notice he does. It's those 1%ers, and I've watched him for so many years put his body on the line, and with some of those 1%ers, he's actually created goals and forward forays for your forwards. He just gives you everything. You could not but admire his determination and effort for Rowville, could you? Yeah,
we're very lucky. He's been the heart and soul and probably carried the club in terms of performance. He's been really durable until the last couple. He's had a couple of bad ankle injuries that sort of hurt him later on in his career, but up until 2 years ago, I don't reckon he missed a game. I think he's played over 200 games for the footy club, and he debuted when I think he was 16, and he's just been a superb leader. I've been really blessed with him and Nick Shoemaker's, Matty Davey, that all come through together when they won a flag in 12 in Divi 2, and they're the last three sort of remaining. Everyone else has sort of moved on, or probably not up to the standard anymore. But these guys just they bleed brown and gold, and they're so good for the young kids, our culture, and what they drive and what they believe in. So it's been really pleasing with them.
Tyrese Alou is back today. How much more Rowville footy has he got in him this year?
Yeah, hopefully heaps. Look, he's obviously Carlton's got a bye, so he comes back and he'll play a bit of a different role than what he probably played against Blackburn. He's just one of those talents, mate. He can play anywhere. He's 194 and 95 kilos, and he can play forward, back, midfield, ruck. He can do anything. So
scary.
It is a little bit. And he's only 19, so he's a bit of a weapon. So I don't know how long I'll get him. I hope, depending on VFL finals and qualifications and all that sort of stuff, we'll have a look at that. In the next couple of weeks, but we might have him for a couple more.
And then for someone on the opposition team that's probably slightly taller but not maybe quite as exciting in terms of years, Ryan Morrison, he's a bit of an anchor. He plays a bit like Stephen May, sort of sets everything up for Noah Park. How do you confront a player like that? Is it someone you try to put time into, or do you just back your guys not to just kick it down his throat every time?
Yeah, look, it's a bit of both, mate, I think. A bit of both. He's obviously a great leader for them, and he sees the ball really well behind, and like you said, he's an anchor, and if we can control the footy and use the ball well through the centre, then we can sort of hurt him on the lead, I reckon. When we get high balls in, that's where he dictates. He can push people under the ball, and he's got a great foot. He's a great execution by foot out of their D50. He sets up a lot of their attacks. So if we can minimise his impact when they've got the footy, try and shut him down a little bit, I think that'll help us.
Well, Ben, thank you very much, mate, for joining us on the pre-game. It's good to finally get out and see Rowville again, so Ray will get off our back.
Good.
But
it's good to have you on too, mate.
Exactly right.
Thanks. No
so
worries.
good luck today, mate, not only for today's game, but for the finals that are upcoming. So enjoy that. We're going to go to another break here on the Eastland pre-game show. When we come back, Noah Park coach Steve Hughes.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in, because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
The warm-up continues right here on EFL Saturday.
Welcome back to the Bull Ring. A massive Eastland match of the round coming your way in just under half an hour, or just over half an hour, sorry. 1v2 in the Premier Division as Noble Park welcome Rowville. Winner will likely be the minor premier for the Premier Division in 2022. And we're joined now by Noble Park coach Steve Hughes. Steve, it's an exciting day for your footy club today, isn't it? To get a bit of a revenge back on this lot after they surprised everyone, really, in round one.
Yeah, it was feels like a long time ago now. But, they definitely came to play that day, and probably look, I didn't know a lot about them, to be honest, because obviously
I don't think anyone did.
Well, like we had 9 rounds of footy last year, so you can do as much research as you can, but you're not aware of form or where players are at after pre-seasons, etc. But yeah, they absolutely served it up to us and deserved their win round one. So what is it, 3.5 months later? Hopefully we can turn the tables.
You've had 3 losses this year, so that was round 1. There was another one in round 5 or 6 against Doncaster East that sort of, on paper, came out of nowhere, and then Baldwin last week. So there's no real pattern in terms of dipping in form, but are there patterns in terms of, from what you're observing, on game day that you might think, we're not quite executing as much as it is, or are they just 3 blips on the radar where you've just happened to lose in different ways?
Just all credit to Baldwin a week ago. They played an outstanding round of football, a football that we're a little bit jealous of, to be honest. I mean, that's the brand that we aspire to, really hard around the contest, first in for the footy, set up really well defensively. So, and we were off. So I actually thought the result flattered us, to be honest. They absolutely pantsed us and deserved their win. So, look, I think it's just a bit of a not so much a wake-up call, but just a little reminder that if we're off-brand against the good sides, they'll open you up, and they'll open you up really quickly.
However, Steve, one of your mantras is defence first, and you've always played that card, and because you believe that is the best way to produce your good football. Last week, with your defence, was there something about your defence that you hadn't found out that you were glad to find out before the finals?
Not our back six as such, more our defensive set up around the footy, our ability to be in first for the ball, that type of thing. It wasn't necessarily, let's blame our back pocket for the result. It was more a collective. Just like in terms of we made some changes this week based on our lack of forward pressure, which they rebound pretty well across half back as well. A side like Baldwin, and of course, the mob we're playing today do a little bit of the same. So we've got to be good in that space, even around the contest. Like leaving stoppage, we were slow to leave stoppage, which that's not a brand we want to play. So it's been on the midfield as well.
Rodney Eade said to us last week, Steve, that if his side or any side in Premier Division is off 10-15% for about 20 minutes in a game of football, it's the difference between winning and losing. Do you sort of subscribe to that theory, the way the competition is this year?
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, I mean, look, it's it's pretty tight, particularly at the top. There's not many. This is a competition where there's not a lot of poor players running out there. Your bench are well stocked. There's good depth along in each side. So if you're off for 10 or 15 minutes, you don't get away with it, like Rocket said. So. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Steve, look, the way Rowville play their game, particularly as they run out of the back line, they run out of there with numbers and that. Is this something that you've been able to pick up yourself?
Yeah, yep, we have. We've obviously, watched a fair bit of footage over the last couple of weeks, and they rebound well. The likes of Mitchell Shrook, really good player, good rebounder, covers the ground. We'll be keeping an eye on players like that. Hopefully we can... look, we're not going to keep all of these sort of players out of the game as such, but we just want to make it hard for them if we can. But also in the midfield, they've got really good stocks in there with the likes of Lockie Mack, who's going really well, and Brolick and Spud Frawley and even Evans. I think he could potentially play out on the wing today. So they've got a lot of depth through there. I think it's a little bit cliche, but I think most games are won or lost in the midfield. I think that'll happen again today. I think. It'll be the win will be a byproduct of good stoppage work and getting more entries than the other, I think. So
a big hole in the Rowville side, which is to your advantage today, is that Nick Showermaker's not playing. He's overseas in America. So do you plan obviously to exploit that?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Absolutely. Fully knowing that we're probably, if we do face them again this year, that he'll be back. So, look, we're hoping that we can win a few more of the ruck duels than what we normally do against them, definitely. So, and we'll set up accordingly. Yep.
One of the more important stats I place great stock in, Steve, is the amount of quarters won for the season. You won 40.5 quarters out of 60, ranked 2 behind Rowville, who've won 41. So, to win the quarters on the scoreboard really does help build momentum for the side all the way through the season.
Yeah, it does, and even a start today I think is important, particularly on the back of last week for us, a few questions asked this week, to be honest, so, the expectation is for us to start well, and, I don't know what the stat is in sort of winning first quarters, but when you do, you win most games, I think, so we'll be focusing on a good warm-up and a good start.
Steve, just before we go, we need a pronunciation on number 55 here.
Yes. I go with Jacob Goikoa.
Yeah, well, that's completely different to what Matty thought.
No, I said Goikoa. What was I going with? No, Lee was going with Gouchy. Templestowe's got the worst. We had Anthony McGregor on a couple of weeks back on the Monday recovery, and he was going with nicknames. He doesn't go with the surname.
Yeah. Okay, good.
It's Ryan Morrison and Josh Tua. Well, last time we were out, he was Queen's birthday, and they were probably the best two players on the ground against Haley and Jordan Lyle. And obviously, he lost the ball last week, but on that day, it was quite obvious for them. Morrison got that. They were just obvious matchups. I think most of us would have picked those matchups, but Rowville don't have that sort of structure in their forward line. Baldwin have a more typical sort of, there's the key goal kickers. Rowville have a much bigger spread. Matt Davey, I think, is their leading goal kicker, but he's not sort of the someone that Ryan Morrison's going to go to. So how do you use those two, especially Joshua, who might not provide the same attacking fulcrum that Ryan can provide?
Yeah, that's 100% right. Look, Joshy, it'd be rare that he'd have double figure in terms of stats, but he's pretty much the first magnet across every week for us. He gets, in most cases, the most dangerous and typically medium-sized deepest forward. Yep. So, and that doesn't change for us. So it'll probably be a scenario where we identify who's sort of playing the deepest and probably looking the most dangerous in terms of the medium-sized forwards.
So for Josh today, he's not coming in with a player. So obviously Baldwin would have been spending his whole week thinking about Charlie Haley. Yep. Today he's just thinking about playing inside that defensive 20.
Well, it would have been nice if he was thinking about Charlie Haley, but he's coming off COVID, Josh. He didn't play last week, unfortunately. But yeah, no. So he'll play deep for sure. Yep.
Steve, has game day changed for a coach now? Because all the messaging that a coach does really happens on a Thursday night at selection night after training. You get them together. Do you sort of now, do the players want their own space leading into a game now where they don't want to be cluttered with so much information on game day?
Yeah, a little bit. What I've noticed I've coached for, 14, 15 years now. It has changed a little bit. We've made some subtle changes, things like we have our meeting at the beginning of the second quarter of the reserves, as opposed to probably 3 or 4 years ago when you were doing it at half times, just giving them a little bit of space in between what is now and the warm-up. So, yeah, it has changed a little bit, but we definitely need to, remind them of our structures and those type of things, and what our KPIs are for the day. So that's sort of a 20-minute meeting, and then you let them go.
It beats a bit of the doof music, don't it, mate?
Well, the reserves had it going before I went to get a can of Coke. Well, the reserves was like it was splendor in the grass in there.
I can't have it. I cannot have it. I'm genuinely getting old, and I cannot have it.
Do you try to influence them with your music style, Steve, or you just stay out of it completely?
Yeah, no, I stay out of it. They don't like my stuff, mate.
We really love what you've done over the last 2 years, mate. Noah Park have had an incredible record in the last year and a half, if you include last year as well. So good luck today, and no doubt we'll be seeing you across the finals at some point anyway. So hopefully today is the start of something big for Noah Park.
Good as gold. Thanks, boys.
Steve Hughes there, Noah Park, senior coach. And he's been doing some great work there, Ray and Brash, of course, over the course of the last 2 years. He's been, really successful in terms of his win-loss record, Brash. Up until I think it was the last round, they were actually on track to win the minor premiership last year, and Vermont pipped them.
Yeah.
Not surprisingly, but Noble Park, probably a lot of people people thought they were the best team last year, and this year, again, we keep talking about them being the best team, and they're unlikely, but they may miss the minor premiership again. But his last 2 years, he's only lost about 5 games.
The hardest thing for a new coach coming to a well-established and successful club, right, is the fact that he was following in some big footsteps.
And footsteps that played a much more open style, So Steve talks about being defence first and winning the midfield battle. Mick was obviously winning the midfield battle, but it was about kicking big scores, wasn't it, Ray?
So it was.
So he not only came in to fill big shoes in terms of the person, but to then come in and go to everyone, we're actually not going to try and kick 150 points here. We're going to try and actually stop the other team scoring. It's quite a bold thing to do.
It is. When you consider, just looking at today's game, Ray, Rowville have kicked over 100 points 6 times in 6 games this year compared to only 3 for Noble Park. So in terms of being able to hit the scoreboard, there's no worries about Rowville being able to handle or kick 100 points in any game this year.
And you're right, and the beauty of them kicking those 100 points, they usually have 7 or 8 goal kickers as well.
That's what I was sort of saying. It's a difficult one, especially for Tua, because he doesn't have those same weapons as he alluded to. Morrison averages high 20s, so he may not man up on anyone and still affect the game.
I mean,
Tua might have a difficult thing. Who do you think Tua will match up on? If he's playing on the deepest mid-sized forward, who's that going to be for Rowville, Ray? Is that a Matt Davey?
Yeah, probably is in today's side, I would say. It depends. Rowville named Tyrese Liu as their full forward. I don't think he'll play there.
Well, and Tua's not going to him. Tua's probably just over my height. Liu's got 10 centimetres and 10 kilos on him by the sounds of it.
And then you've got Mark Seidman down there. Well, he's too tall for him as well. So
I think it's Davey or Arundel. But
Arundel. Well, you've got Arundel, and you've also got Taylor. 2 small forwards down there. They're very dangerous.
I think Arundel will attract one of their best 2 or best 3 defence, because he's been on fire in recent times, kicking goals, and he's that sort of burst player, Ray, that can kick you 2 or 3 quick ones, and that can be the difference between winning and losing.
It certainly can.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about other divisions quickly, though, because we're going to have 20 minutes before the bounce to talk about this one.
Yep.
Let's go straight down to Division 4. I just got a text from our man Davis Harrigan, who's out there shooting this game for us, Sylvan and Chirnside Park, out at Chirnside Park. And not because we think it's going to be a particularly close game, but because Lee Kimpton needs just 6 goals to reach 100. Who was the last person to kick 100, Ray and Brash, in the Eastern Football Netball League? It would have been a while.
Would it beat Taleb? No.
It's probably it's either Lee Williams or Matty Gregg.
Yeah,
and that's
probably Lee Williams.
But not in the home. Not in recent memory, and definitely not inside the home and away season, because Kimpton will be doing this in Sylvan's, I think, 15th outing. So, you know, he's averaging well over 6 goals a game. So, one to keep an eye on. But Sylvan should really pummel Chirnside Brash. And if Surrey Park do the business over Forest Hill, as we expect they will, they'll jump into second, and then they'll get probably 3 cracks at Sylvan before the end of the year because they play them next week. They'll probably play them in the first final, and if form continues, they'll play them in the grand final.
I've always said that I was worried Chirnside Park sitting second, getting flogged by 30 goals by the top side. That result still resonates with me. I can't comprehend or even entertain Chirnside even troubling Sylvan. And looking at Surrey Park's form in recent times, I agree with you, Matt. I think they're the only team that is equipped, right, mentally and physically to take on a Sylvan, especially where the game's going to be played. I just think that Ringwood's going to be East Burwood's going to be it's going to be a tough ask for Sylvan. And I think but Surrey the only team of that top 4 that actually, Kilsyth will lock them out in the top 4, but of those top 3, Surrey the only team that actually play on a half decent sized ground because Kimberley's not quite as small as Sylvan, but it's not anywhere near as big as East Burwood. I couldn't even say to you now that I couldn't even guarantee that Chirnside or Kilsyth are going to be going to a preliminary final. One of them two are playing a preliminary final, yet I don't even rate them a chance of making a grand final.
No, I think Chirnside, Kilsyth, though, you've got to remember, Kilsyth have beaten Surrey Park, Chirnside have beaten them twice this year, and Kilsyth lost to Chirnside Park the first time we played by just a point. So I think Division 4 finals, I think Surrey Park are the best placed team to actually beat Sylvan, but in terms of actually making the grand final, I wouldn't lock in Surrey at the moment in a weird situation. It's a bit like in Division 3 where I actually think Coldstream and Donvale have more chance of beating Waverley in the grand final. But given the way the fixture's going to line up, Warrandyte will get the double chance, Ray, because they should win their final 2 games comfortably. And Donvale have Waverley today and Coldstream have Ferntree and Donvale to finish. So both those sides are going to head into finals on iffy form, play each other, knock each other around, and Warrandyte might get 2 bites at the cherry.
Might get 2 bites of the cherry, and if you can get 2 bites of the cherry, who knows what could happen. But no, I agree. Look, after seeing Coldstream the other week, they're not that far off Waverley Blues.
Yeah, but I think their midfield can take it up to Waverley, and that's having, as Steve Hughes just said, if you can at least compete in the midfield battle, you're halfway to getting something out of the game. And I also thought that when they made it a little bit more physical, Waverley, the younger guys sort of bit. They didn't keep their cool, and there were little periods where Coldstream were able to make those emotions come to the surface and take advantage of that and get little runs on. I don't think, and that might be something that Waverley will encounter over the next month. I think sides will resort to that because in terms of skill and in terms of just talent across the park, Brash, there's no way anyone can really match Waverley.
No. The thing is, for me, for as good as Coldstream are going, they need Fritsch and Carrigan to be at their absolute best throughout the final series.
And look, the big question mark, I was listening to you talking about Chirnside and all that, and I just sat here and I wasn't saying much, but I haven't written Chirnside off. I think that they will play in the grand final and maybe even take it up. Look, finals are completely different. This is the thing you've got to realise. Some players just can't handle finals, and other players, the good players step up in the finals, and I think Coldstream have got some good players that, aren't far off stepping up.
And then, so in terms of Chirnside and so you think Chirnside today, what's an acceptable result for them before they head into a final series?
Who are they playing?
They're playing Sylvan.
Well, probably...
Last time they lost by 180.
Probably, I know that. Well, let's say within 35 points.
Yeah,
I think they'd be happy.
I think that'd really exceed expectations. Yeah. Absolutely. So those games there. The other interesting one, of course, that has some sort of permutation is Scoresby and Whitehorse. So should Scoresby lose, it sets up a playoff between them and Fair Park next week to survive relegation. The only problem for Fair Park is Whitehorse have not won a game away from home all year. Brash, do you give Whitehorse a chance of helping out their friends out at Fair Park Reserve?
No, they don't like doing favours for anyone that pioneers. They haven't been able to hoist a wagon.
They actually asked last week if we could play finals at the D in years to come because they've got an incredible record at the D.
The wagon train hasn't left left Coonung all year, mate.
Springfield Park. Coonung's Nunawading and definitely hasn't left Nunawading. What about you, Ray? Can you see Whitehorse maybe upsetting Scoresby?
No, I think Scoresby will just have too much firepower.
So Scoresby win that today.
Yeah.
Fair Park will remain a mathematical chance, but they would have to beat Scoresby next week by something. They'd have to have a 20% swing, which was, I'm not a mathematician, but I'm tipping that's a big margin, given Fair Park haven't won a game by that margin in a long time since they've been up in Division 3.
Mechanics with that one. All I need is a miracle.
Well, I still think Whitehorse. I think Whitehorse can do the job. Fair Park will be. They probably won't. They'll be obviously trying to beat Warrandyte today, but they'll probably be keeping more of an eye on the Whitehorse score than their own score, to be honest, because it probably helps them out more and more. The same with North Ringwood and Doncaster. Berwick will be hoping Doncaster can do them a favour and lock things up for them for next year in the Premier Division. Well, it's been a brilliant pre-game. It was good to hear from two coaches that we don't hear much from. We talk a lot about Noble and Rowville, but we haven't heard much from them in recent times. So good to hear two different viewpoints on the game as we head into this 1v2 clash. After this break, you'll be on Eastern FM, you'll be on the SEN app, you'll be on EFNL Facebook and YouTube as we bring to you the top of the table Premier Division clash. Noble Park and Rowville. Winner will take out the minor premiership. The loser is in danger of dropping out of the double chance.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
On EFL Saturday, it's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you've just joined us out at the, of course, the magnificent Noble Park home ground, of course, and it really is a pretty good day out here today. It's overcast, but there's no rain at the moment. The ground looks an absolute picture, and the Pat Wright Senior Oval is ready to welcome these two great sides, 1v2, Noble Park taking on Rowville. Welcome along. My name is Brett Beston, calling the action for you this afternoon, alongside Matt Foti, who will be joining us very shortly, and the rest of the team, of course, you've already heard from them, but slowly getting into position. Brash and Ray, Ronnie, I guess you've had a fair bit to say over the last sort of hour or so. Brett, sick of hearing from you, quite frankly. But no, I'm only kidding. But it should be a cracking game today. I mean, it's 1v2, everything on the line, and the winner of this effectively, Ray, takes the minor premiership.
It certainly does, Brett. And look, this is a game I think the whole Eastern Football League public's been waiting for about 5 or 6 weeks. You know, and we're finally here, and the weather gods have smiled on us. It's not raining, and everything points to a great game. And good luck to both sides.
I think, Brett, one of the things that we're going to see this afternoon is both sides have been strengthened from some outside influences as well. So we've had there's quality coming into both sides to us, you know, to aid the already both sides' quality. So, you know, it's going to be a high-tempo match, I think. And, you know, look, both sides have thoroughly deserved to be where they are because they've worked their backside off so far this season.
That's right. What do you make of Noble's little hiccup, I suppose, last week? I mean, it sort of came out of nowhere. They were travelling pretty well, and they came up against, I know you both rate Baldwin quite highly, but you wouldn't have expected a 56-point loss for the top side. No, but the thing is, though, Brett, I subscribe to the theory that you can, and Ray will back me up, you can be a really good side for the whole season, but it's extremely hard to maintain that edge week on week, right? And only the good sides can really do it. And the thing is, they're entitled to an off week, and I think Noble Park had an off week last week. Well, you often hear people say, you know, it's the loss they had to have. It's a bit of a cliche, but they did, you know, they've had a bad loss last week, but onwards and upwards, Ray. I mean, you're across the Rowville side probably more than most of us. You will have seen them a lot this year. They atop the table, or they have been atop the table for a lot of the year. Do you see them as a genuine premiership contender? Oh, without a doubt. Look, I since about round 12, you know, I was still doubtful around about round 12, but they dropped that game to Doncaster East, but that was in woeful football conditions. You know, I don't play a lot into that, and I said all along, no, Rowville weren't going to win, you know, every game of the season. They knew that, but what they're a very young side. They're even across the board, and they run in numbers and they back each other, and the attack on the ball carrier is phenomenal. Yeah, that's the one thing that I saw them play Norwood in round 3 early in the year. They play uncompromising football. You're accountable, and I agree with Ray. The pressure on the ball carrier is intense. It is really intense. And I wouldn't be terribly surprised when it comes to, you know, they'd be leading a lot of the stats on turnovers and, you know, and contested tackles and those sort of statistics. I think they're on top in the 1%ers, and I know why, because you've got a bloke like Alex Frawley that just thrives on those sort of things. Yeah, a couple of fantastic midfields, and of course when we're talking about games like this or any game, we always talk about the games being won and lost in the midfield, and I mean, you've got two absolutely cracking midfields, arguably the two best in the comp, so it's going to be a huge tussle today, isn't it? Yeah, well, it is, and then whichever side can get that ball out of the centre square, you know, more often the others are certainly going to win the game. I like Jackson Sketcher. I saw him down here in round 2 after they lost to Rowville in round 1. I saw them down here against Berwick, and the thing with Sketcher is he uses the ball so well, but when he gets it, he runs 50-odd metres before he can dishes it off. And I've said this all along, and I've copped my critics. I think Jackson Sketcher now has gone past Cole Martin as the best player playing for Noble Park at the moment. That's a bit cool. Well, and I think, put it this way, I think Ray's point is valid. Last week, Sketcher and Martin combined for 50 possessions, Brett, yet they were still soundly beaten. Yes. Right, so, I mean, look, those two can still have an influence on the contest, but if the players around them can't benefit from that, then in effect, you know, it's almost like they become irrelevant. So I think the other player I think too that, you know, that probably has really played well for Noble Park this year, Ray, is Horton Mill. He's come back from Dingley, being a premiership player. Yeah. Right, he's come back and he's really slotted into that midfield. The Marson boys are dangerous players. You got Jack Beach in the ruck. I'm surprised that Kevin Keen's out of the side today because he's a very, very
He's a very, very good footballer.
But let's not forget Mr. Dependable down back, Ryan Morrison.
Yeah.
Fabulous player, isn't he?
We were talking about matchups before, and who does Josh Tour get? And the consensus was it was either going to be Jake Arundel or Taylor, wasn't it, Ray?
Yeah.
So I mean, look, I think I think it's going to be one of the more intriguing sides about this game this afternoon, Brett, is not only is the game going to be won on the field, but who's going to win the game in the coaching box. Both coaches get an opportunity this afternoon, and they've probably been looking forward to this to see who can outmanoeuvre the other at the appropriate time.
Get a little bit of bragging rights going into finals. The other two gentlemen down the end who we will introduce and bring into the conversation as well. Jared Beanland and, of course, Paul Yaconi, who are down doing scores and stats, I think, respectively. Afternoon, gentlemen.
How are you doing, Brett? And g'day to the listeners. It's a great day here for some footy at Pat Wright Senior Reserve. Very keen to see these two heavy hitters of the Premier Division get at it, and it could be a preview to some interesting finals coming up. I'll be doing scores today, so of course some very interesting matchups throughout the EFNL, and I'll keep those coming.
Good stuff. And Paul, you've probably got the toughest job of the lot because you have to keep an eye on everything with the stats. But, we rely on the stats, of course, with, what's going on with clearances and headouts and all the rest of it. So, eagle eye, Paul, you'll be keeping an eye on. So which way do you think this one's going to go, Paul?
I reckon this will be a close game. I reckon Noble Park will get up, but by under a goal, I reckon. This will be a good contested game, I reckon.
Jared, did we get your tip? Jared's not listening. All right, so, what about the goal kicking for the respective sides? I mean, there's plenty of firepower in both teams. I mean, you look at Ben Marston's kicked 24 goals for Noble. Francis has got 22. Byers is next best. But then you look at the Rowville side, and they have got some, Arundel, we talked about him. Of course, Box Hill Hawks listed, so he's a fantastic player. And Matthew Davey as well. So there's some real firepower up in the forward line, isn't there?
There is, and there's a little bit of a stat I was just mentioning before you come on air, Brett, that Rowville have kicked over 100 points 6 times this season.
I heard you say that, yeah.
Where Noble Park have only done it 3 times. I just think that, for mine, I just think Rowville have got a better spread of kickers across a few more lines. But one guy that, that I think will come to the fore today, and he is one of the premier players in the competition. And if he starts kicking goals on top of his averaging 27 possessions a game in the skipper, Anthony Brolick, I think Rowville will win the game quite comfortably.
Comfortably?
Yes.
All right.
And Brash, another one of their midfielder who gets in and kicks a few goals is Lockie McDonald as well. He usually kicks 2 or so during a game, and then of course Alex Frawley, Mr. Evergreen, been there forever, and he gets in and under and does the hard work and dishes the ball out to his midfield.
I mean, comfortably, Brett, by maybe 3 or 4 goals.
Yeah.
I'm not talking like a shellacking like they got last week, Noble Park.
Yeah. Speed on the outside's important too, and Ali Zijai, of course, he's a bit of a flyer down the wing, isn't he?
He is, and he's probably got a point to prove, I reckon, today, Brett. He's crossed over from Noble Park.
That's right, playing against his old side. That's why I brought him up.
And I think, look, he is a creative player. Just probably doesn't at times get the game on his terms. I just think that, look, I think his creativity has probably been a little stifled, Ray.
Yeah, look, the players, the Ceylonese players, they turn on terrific football at all levels. You look at the ones playing the AFL, and you look across the sides that are playing here. They are so quick off the mark and dominant, and they run and carry the ball.
All right, Ray, we'll wrap you up there because we're going to go to our break, and we'll come back and continue as we count down to the big match, Noble Park and Rowville from the Pat Wright Senior Reserve.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Pat Wright Senior Reserve as we get closer to start time. We're about, probably 8 minutes away from the kick-off on this one. The big game this afternoon between Noble Park and Rowville. And, well, boys, we might get everyone's tips. I think we sort of started to do that, but we may not have got everyone's. So we'll just start again for those that have just joined us. And we'll start at the bottom with Jared. Jared, who are you going with?
Honestly, going with Noble Park here. The home ground advantage could see them well. And they're just such a good defensive team that I think it might be difficult for Rowville to score such a high score against them.
Okay, Paul, which way did you go, mate? Paul, can you hear us?
They've just got to swap mics down there, mate. We're stretched.
Right. Yeah. Who are you going for, Paul?
I'm going for Noble Park in this one. I reckon it'll be close. I reckon it'll be under a goal, but as Jared said before, they've got a very good back six. Rowville are a very high pressure team, but I think the home ground advantage will see Noble get over the line.
All right, interesting stuff. The two veterans of the media team. Of course, good to have them back side by side today. Ray Beard. Ray, you going Rowville, no doubt?
Yes, I'm going Rowville, and that's not just with my heart. I just think that they're playing some really great football, and I've seen a lot of them this year, and I'm going with a 15-point margin.
15 points in Brash.
Rowville by 4 goals.
Okay.
Brett.
Right. And joining me, of course, to call the big game this afternoon, it's a great pleasure to welcome the media manager of the Eastern Football Netball League, Matt Fuddy. Welcome, Matty.
Thanks for having me, Besto, once again after a big pre-game. I'm a bit torn on this one. I think I'm going to have to go Noble Park because a lot of intel I've been given are that Noble Park on their day are the best side in the comp, despite my tipping of Baldwin all year. But also wouldn't be surprised at all if Rowville were to get up in this one. But we've got our boundary riders down there as well, Blake Tennant and Will Faulkner, Besto. So why don't we go down to Blakey on the boundary? He's always got something for us. He's always got a golden egg for us. Blake, Will, who have you got in this big one?
G'day listeners. Yes, I've got Noble winning. As touched on, I think they're probably the front runners, I reckon, to make it hopefully to the big dance. So I've got Noble to win by about 15 points.
Afternoon, everyone. I'm
going to go with Noble Park by a couple goals. It's my pick for today, I reckon.
Just on that too, Will Faulkner running the ripped jeans and the RMs. You don't see much of that out at Noble Park, Brash. He's misread the vibe of Noble. I reckon this is his first time out of the southeast suburbs.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up, mate.
Yeah, I didn't think I had to send that in the email at the start of the week, Ray. But great work. How are the conditions down there, Will and Blake? What have we got? Is there a wind? The ground looks like it's holding up. The centre wicket square is pretty solid too. So everything looks pretty good for a good game of football.
Yeah, it looks very calm down here. Not a lot of wind at all to really report back on. Nice and overcast. Could pick up during the day, but for now, I think, yeah, pretty good footy conditions for all. Thank you to Will and Blake. We'll hear more from them throughout the day. Besto, I can guess your tip, but give it to us.
Look, I'm going to go Noble. I very nearly, I very nearly changed my tip. I've been watching a bit of footage of Rowville during the week, doing a bit of homework, and I like what I see, but I'm going to stick with Noble. Okay, they're coming off a bit of a shocker last week, but I think it'll be very close, and I think the Bulls just out here at the Bull Ring. Absolutely.
So it's all being up to this one. Do you think, though, gentlemen, those that have tipped either way, do we think this will be the grand final? Ray, do you think this will be the grand final, or do you think a Baldwin or a Doncaster East will play a Rowville or a Noble?
No, I think this will be the grand final.
And it would be great for southeastern football, wouldn't it?
It would
be booming.
certainly would be.
Brash, have you got, as you're typing away there, would you have any change up, or do you think this is a grand final preview?
This could be. I think we'll know a little bit more today. I'll have to go with my original prediction, Baldwin and Noble Park, but I'm not going to be surprised if Rowville do make it to the last dance, Matt.
Yeah, it'll be very, very interesting to get a look at these two sides as they're out there kicking around. Few interesting. You can see how young Rowville are across the board, can't you, as well?
They are, but like I said, they're a tough, uncompromising side.
Bruce Press just giving us the haircuts is the way you can tell as the umpires come onto the field.
He's not wrong, though.
Damien Sully loves a match of the round. It will be officiating today.
Yes.
So
Well, he is one of the elder statesmen in the umpiring ranks.
He is, and he is still one of the best going around in the umpire stakes. So
yes, he is.
Luke Bull is out there. He's one of those players for Noble Park, Brash. That second layer, aren't they? You know, you've obviously got Martin Sketcher, Horton Milne that we talk about, Morrison, but Tua, Bull, Thomas Glenn, the Marsons, they're that next rung of players that have really blossomed this season.
Yeah, they have, and the thing we've lost power here, but we're back on again. I think Noble Park are a side that they don't bottom out too often, and that's the reason. That's why the good sides are always playing off the finals, because they don't bottom out and are able to attract and recruit good players to their football club.
Who's going to win the ruck duel today? You've got Byers on the ruck, probably with a bit of help from
Jack Beach.
From Jack Beach, who will probably play on the ruck as well up against Rowville's ruck. So I think was led by. I'm just trying to look at my list.
I think Tyrese Lou might have a run around in there as well.
Yeah.
Ray, who else will ruck in the absence of Nick Schoenmakers?
Well, I think that. Where is it?
Lockman?
I think Mark Seadsman will go in there at some stage,
Yeah.
particularly if the ball's down the forward line. I think they'll share it around a bit.
That's not Tyrese, number 36, is it?
It was the only number missing, so I reckon that's big Tyrese there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like bloody Samson.
Big boy, isn't he?
My God.
They reckon he's only 194. He looks bigger than that.
We'll get our boundary riders to check on that number, but Tyrese, and how do we say his surname, boys?
Liu.
Okay.
I reckon he'd flatten me like
Time
a
in
pancake.
Time in Lou. As we go back. Blakey Tennant's down there.
Yeah, just got the toss, boys. Rowville won the toss, and they'll be kicking to the left of the broadcast screen. So I think there's a little bit of wind, not much, but there's a little bit. So hopefully
Is it going? Where is it going? Is it going to the Mutamere Street end?
Yeah, it's going to the left side. Yeah.
Thank you, mate.
I don't know the street. I haven't been in 3 years.
And I just saw Kyle Martin doing a bit of the Jezza Cameron, pushing the ends of the footy. So clearly the football's not kicked into his liking. So we'll keep an eye on that as well, Blake.
Definitely, for sure.
And just, Blake, I know the listeners will be looking forward to this, mate. How did the Trows 19s go this morning?
Yes, very good win today. 100-point win for the second week in a row.
And what about your fine self?
Yes, slotted down forward when needed, and yep.
Hey,
Yep.
Blake was telling me before the game, the coach just told him he's not allowed to go forward. He's got to stay in the ruck. I said, how many goals do you kick? And I said, you can go forward and kick a couple. And he said, no, coach wants me to stay out of the forward.
Well, he's just doing his team role, isn't he? As he is down on the boundary today. But we look forward to hearing more from Blakey Tennant.
Blake, I'm just wondering, is there a chance I can book a caravan down at Berwick along the coast there, mate?
Good to see you listening on the weekend forecast, Brash.
I got to say, mate, you're another great doppelganger from you, mate. I tell you what, it had me laughing for 5 minutes. And if you can do that, mate, you've made my day.
The people of Berwick will love that. That'll be part of their marketing pitch. Come to Berwick, a seaside town.
You might have to enlighten me. I didn't hear that one.
Well, put it this way, Blake. There is a Berwick upon Tweed about 15,000 miles away on the Scottish-English coast. I'm sure we could get them to come and play EFNL football every Saturday afternoon.
It'd be lovely. Big travel, though. I don't know. They didn't like it when Berwick and Beaconsfield come in, Brash. I don't know if they'd like any Scottish teams coming in.
No, exactly.
Almost all in readiness here at the Bull Ring. It's, as we said countless times, this is a game we've been looking forward to since round one, when Rowville got the job done all the way back in April. The second week of April, and it's now the second week of, well, the first weekend of August, but feels like we're a lot deeper into that as finals are nearing around the corner. We'll hear more about those key scores from around the grounds with Jared Beelan throughout the broadcast, but Brett Beston about to take you away as Noble Park hosts Rowville.
Thank you, Matty. Umpire throws the ball up, and I think Beach has a jumper change by the looks. Looks like he's wearing jumper 30, which he has done previously this year. Listed as number 28. We'll get the boys to check on that. Picked up by Rowville, dumped on the ground. Good tackle coming in there from Fairbank. In fact, he's won a free kick. So Fairbank with the footy, switches it across. It's about half forward, but there's plenty of Rowville defenders back there. Dropped over there by Young on the ground. They go in and get it again as that Frawley ball comes out. It's all a bit messy, but here they come, Rowville, and this is what they're good at. A little bit of speed off that half-back line. Kicked it full forward to about half forward, should I say. Ball has been dropped, and it's in the hands of Glenn. The umpire says we'll have a free kick going the way of Noble Park.
So Thomas Glenn, left half-back, goes short in ball. Gets a lot of the football, Thomas Glenn. Not many contested possessions, but still gets a lot of it. To Luke Bull, who gets a dangerous kick into the middle, but the ball should be away here. The handball came from Tua. Gave it off to Sketcher, who goes wider to Shane Allen. Well, of course, it was Shane Allen the week last time we were out here, wasn't it, Brash? It was. Was it 200 for the club or 150 for the club? Something along those lines.
200, I think. And I had a walk of the ground, Matt. It's still very spongy.
Yeah.
Very spongy, so definitely a stop day.
So Beach gets the front spot, taps it down straight in the hands of a Noble Park midfielder who wobbles it inside forward 50. Francis was around there. Little handball came out from Lambert of the Bodie variety, but nothing doing, and we'll have another ball up 30 metres out from the Noble Park goal. Up goes Lockman for Rowville, hit it down. Martin tried to come through and grab a free kick, couldn't get anything from the umpire. McDonald's handball goes wider, and the Hawks will try to switch play, but a great smother coming across there from Benjamin Marson forces another stoppage inside the Noble Park forward 50. We've gone, according to the clock, we've only gone a minute. I think that's a little bit off. We've got 2 minutes on our clock ticking over here. Still no score for either side. Just feeling each other out in these early stages.
So I think the gentleman on the score is probably, the clock has gone, had a bit of a snooze, so a little bit late getting the clock started as a big tackle comes in there on the ground. It's coming in there from Byers, tackling Clark. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up.
I've just noticed that both Sketcher and Martin are lining up on the defensive side of the stoppage.
Interesting. We'll see if that continues throughout the rest of the game. Here's the kick down the line. Trying to get his hands on it over there was Beach, but he managed to get a ball off. Kick forward. Here they come, Noble Park, and it's going to be cut off. Good interception there. So Rowville just in control, just slowing it down. Quite happy just to take their time. Now the kick out towards the half-back flank. Well, nicely done. And Zijai, we spoke about him earlier. He's real speed on the wing, of course. So he'll be one to watch today. Now Ali Zijai kicks towards number 17. That's a Rundle. Plenty of goals for him this year. Takes the ball, but he loses possession on the ground. Going in there and trying to get his hands on it is, I think it's Frawley, but the whistle's gone. In fact, no, it's not Frawley, but we'll have a ball up nonetheless. So still waiting for the first score of the game. We've had 3 minutes. Up it goes. Here's the hit out. Down into the clinches. And on the ground, and that's going to be a free kick going the way of Rowville. They're looking to play on quickly. This is good play. They're in the middle of the ground. Now they chip it out wide to about the 50-metre line, trying to get his hands on it over there was Taylor. Now they go, but it's been cut off, and Glenn with a switching kick. It's a bit of a dangerous one, but nicely done, and the mark is taken by McDonald.
So we'll go into the score centre with Jared Beanland quickly for our first score of the day.
First scores to come through today are from Walker Park. It's Mitcham 2 straight up against Beaconsfield 1 straight.
Well, Liu was almost having a shot at goal there in the far flank, but Noah Park have won the free kick through a desperate tackle back there from the beach blonde hair of Bodie Lambert. So he's laid 2 tackles early today, who go onto the back flank there with his short ball to his teammate in McDonald. Not McDonald. McDonald for Noah Park. He goes across the ground to Woolgar, so he marks in his defensive goal square. And then he'll switch it in for the Jake Gaines. So methodical ball use here from the Bulls. Just trying to spread that Rowville zone, but they've held their shape pretty well, the Hawks, as he bombs it up the line. They've got the numbers here, Noah Park, as the ball hits the deck. Lachlan McDonald had a great year for Rowville so far. Just stepped around Fairbank with ease and then poked it inside forward 50 for Davey. And a spoil coming across from Tua. That does look like Tua's got the match up with Matt Davey.
Brash, both sides are very wary coming out of defence, aren't they? They don't want to go down the corridor.
No, not prepared to take it. But they're playing also very risky play as well to try and create that stretch.
Yeah, definitely keen to try and pinpoint one as it's thrown in. Beach got the hit out down. Come down to Luke Bull. He's at centre-half back and he goes into the centre circles. There's 3 of them diagonal across Pat Wright Senior Oval. Leading the race back there is Jesse Eichhoff with Shane Allen. He gave the handball away to his teammate coming through, Mitchell Schrook. We got a bit of a shout-out from Steve Hughes, Noah Park coach, pre-game. This is one to watch. And he gives it off to Young at centre-half back, swings it out wide. He's got a teammate and trainer, and they've worked it well. There's 3 of them who can raffle it off. In the end, Lachlan McDonald wins out, and he's kicked down the line. Will go out of bounds on the full. It was nowhere near its target, and Alex Frawley.
That was a poor result because actually they should have run the ball a lot further, and the other two Rowville players should have provided the cover.
So free kick, ball goes up. Beach was caught behind, so he didn't get his foot on it. Sketcher hasn't seen too much of it early, but he gets in there. Good tackle on the ground there. We've got a number 62, I think, out there, boys. I'm not quite sure who that is. If you can check that one out for us. So it's almost inevitable, isn't it? Ducks and Drakes with the
that's
the
you. That's Blake.
sheets.
Blake and Will. If you could head down and check that, that's what Besto means. Head over and ask Noah Park. Who's wearing the 62, please?
Was I not clear enough, man?
Well, I'm looking at them and they haven't moved. Blake, earth to Blake. Thank you, Blake.
All right, so Walger has it for Noble Park. Around about the half-back line. Play on, says the umpire. Now he goes long, kicks up towards centre wing. There's the, one in the front spot. Falls it down to Bodie Lambert. Bodie Lambert kicks to half forward, but he's put a bit much on it. The defence is back there nicely. That's Eckhoff. Eichhoff, should I say. He's taken on the ground.
Precariously close to saying something else there, Bestos. We go to Jared Beanland in the score centre.
Whitehorse might be figuring out how to play away. They're 3-1-19 against Scoresby 1-2-8.
Ooh, big one there. Fair Park supporters cheering them on today, as we mentioned on the pre-game. Lachlan McDonald got the handball to Brolick, who went with the outside of the boot towards centre wing. It should be all Noble Park, and it is. Mitchell Woolgar takes the mark. We've gone 6 minutes here, or just over actually, almost 7. No score for either side, as a dangerous ball from Woolgar ends up in the hands there of Rowville's Joshua Clark. The ex-Eastern Rangers captain takes 2 bounces, runs to 40, fires at goal. He's across the face. Nice bit of toe though, Ray. That's exciting for Rowville fans.
He's been a very good player over the last month.
Just a bit of toe. So another example, as well as a dangerous kick from Morrison. Finds its way to Martin, who gives it to Tom Glenn, who's had a fair bit of it. His handball works its way to Luke Bull. Jordan Marson, whose handball to Kyle Martin was difficult for the champion to get down and pick up. And the Rowville pressure works out as Davey flicks one out the corner to his teammate there in Maverick Taylor at centre forward. Arundel fires it off to ZJ. And he's under pressure as well. And eventually Noah Park will clear with Kyle Martin getting it to Beach. Immediately gets it back. He's about 80 from home. Pokes it up to centre forward. Beautiful kick for Byers. Was spoiled at the last moment by Stainthorpe. His handball comes out wider. And he's looking for Eichhoff there. Who flicked it over top to Schrook. The handball's a shocking one, but it should set up for Kyle Stainthorpe. He'll get his left foot away and poke it up the line to centre wing where the mark is taken. And the Hawks can steady it down. It's been a very frantic 0-0 draw. As we pop it up to half forward, Gaines has the front spot. Tua came across and supported him with the fist. And then Horton Milne got it off to Sketcher, and eventually Sketcher gets the 1-2 and bursts past centre wing. Long ball. Byers has got a one-on-one down there. Does well. Can he get the second grab? He can't. And then a good forward tackle there laid by one of the Marsons. It was Benjamin. Means we'll have a ball up inside the Noble Park forward 50. Rowville 1 behind. Noble Park yet to score. 8.5 minutes gone.
So, pretty interesting game so far. Not a high-scoring game, but there's been plenty of movement, and we've got the first goal of the game. I just took my eyes off the play for a split second, and I think
it's Horton Milne.
It's Horton Milne, who just we just watched the replay. It all happened very quickly, just out of the stoppage, and Horton Milne took it just as we were saying that it had been a relatively quiet start to the game. Let's go down to the boundary, Blake.
Yeah, g'day guys. Yes, just got another change. It's actually Josh Stern. He's from 65 to 62. So there you have it.
Thank you, Blake. So Horton Milne with the first goal of the day.
As we go to Paul Uconi in the Stats Centre.
Well, all the stats so far have been pretty even. Apart from these two, the inside 50s, Noble Park lead that 6-4, and tackles, they've certainly brought the pressure early, Noble Park. They lead that 8 tackles to 3.
So a big part of the game, defence, of course. Noble getting the advantage there. Up it goes. Might have just been a bit of a nil-all draw on the ruck that time as the ball comes down. And Marson, the Jordan variety. Here they come forward again, and there's a shot for goal. How's that one looking? Just off target, just drifting to the left. And through for a minus score. So 1-1-7 plays one behind on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. And we officially, I think, have had 9.5 minutes in this first two.
We have, as we go to Jared Beanland in the score centre.
The other top 4 Premier Division game is going on at Bulwen Vizzy Reserve, 2-2-14. That's Bulwen to 1 straight 6, Doncaster East.
So this kick from the Hawks is a drilling ball up the middle, and it works out. It split the hands of Kane Young, but it ended up in his advantage. He runs through the centre square, kicks it to 30 metres out, loses the target. Taylor couldn't bring it in, the Maverick. Got his handball away. Stapleton's kick is smothered by a desperate Jacob Goikoa, and then eventually Morrison gave the handball to Glenn. Glenn poked it wide, and he's found his target there in Stern, wearing the 62. Kicks it up the wing. Beautiful pass inboard to Jack Francis. That's a delightful kick there from Stern, and then Francis will drill one inside forward 50 onto the chest of Bodie Lambert. He dropped it, just bounced off his chest, and then coming through and taking one high is Jacob Goikoa, and he will line up, it looks like, from just outside the arc here at Noble Park. According to our banner riders, the wind is going to that end of the screen, but there's hardly much wind to it. So you'd think this would take Goikoa's best.
The trio of Martin, Sketcher and Horton Mill are causing a few little headaches early for Rowville, Ray.
Yeah, they're running a little bit riot through the middle, Brush.
So Jacob Goikoa will kick from around 50 metres. He'll probably kick from just on the edge of the centre square here towards Moonamere Street. Got a fair piece of that off the boot. Just hooking left. And the Hawks, they actually keep it in play. Shane Allen off the ground. Couldn't go anywhere. And in the end, the free kick goes to Jesse Eichhoff. Allen, he's that sort of poacher. You would have thought he'd put that into the back of the net best, though. But nonetheless, Rowville will get a chance to rebound. They still trail by just 1 goal. 1-1-7 Noble Park Rowville, the one behind.
So Rowville to bring it out, but they've just got themselves into a bit of a sticky spot at the moment. Little handball over the top. It's Shreuk, I think. He gets it into the middle of the ground. Quick hands from Lockman. Now they'll switch the play. Rowville will go right over the other side of the ground. That's a nice kick too, and it finds Seedsman. So Seedsman gives it off. Quick hands down the line. As they kick to about half forward. It's not a great kick though, but they'll do well to get their hands on this. Taylor had it for a moment, but then lost it. Now it comes out. There's Zijai on the ground, taking in a good tackle. Ball comes out though for McDonald. And Noble Park can go forward again here, bouncing awkwardly, but here they come again through Shreuk. Kick is smothered. Ball comes into the ground. This has got a very messy, this piece of play just for the moment.
Bit of Dermot Brereton about Cooper McDonald's hair, isn't it?
It is there,
Have
mate.
a look at that. That's magnificent.
So Clark it was who was taking the ground. The umpire says we'll throw it up. Up it goes. Up they fly on the ruck. Knocked down. Marson went without it for Noble Park. Now it's still there though. Goes and has another go. Marson took his man out of the play. It's on the ground again. That comes out for McDonald. Gets his kick smothered. Now Rowville go forward again. Long kick inside 50, but there's plenty of defence. Smashed away out towards the boundary. Going in there, one of the Rowville players on the ground. I think it was a Trainer. Now it's back inside. And now they'll move it Noble Park off half-back.
So it's into the centre corridor. Francis, handball. Martin was caught flat-footed for the first time in his career, and then Josh Clark pumped it to full forward, where Rowville have got a 2-on-1 inside forward 50, and Seedsman takes the mark 20 metres out directly in front.
Well, it's for the first time this quarter, Rowville got a 2-on-1, Ray, because up until then, their forward 50 was not even getting a chance the way the ball was being delivered to them.
No, you're dead right. The delivery inside that forward 50 was not ideal, but they're hanging in there. That's the main thing.
And now that against the grain of play, there's a chance for them to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So Seedsman to give the Hawks their first goal of the afternoon. Comes in 20 metres out, directly in front, poked at it and missed. So Rowville, 2 behinds. Noble Park 1-1-7 as we go to Jared Beanland in the score centre.
We're in Division 3 here with Waverley Blues 3-2-20 to Donvale 1-1-7 and Scoresby 2-3-15 to Whitehorse 4-2-26.
And just an update from Quamby. North Ringwood have the first goal. They're up 1 straight 6-1 behind. They must win the Saints today to keep their Premier Division hopes alive as Godkeller came through the middle of the corridor there for Noble Park, but left the footy behind, and then Brolick is wrapped up in a Lambert tackle. The Bodie Lambert tackle, and we'll have a ball up in the centre circle. So an easy chance miss there for the Hawks by Seedsman. As Byers went up against Lou. He's got the hide on him and won the hit out. Ooh, that's dangerous from ZJ. Got away with that one as Sketcher poked it out wide to the runner. Fairbank impressed us last year back in round 1 against Berwick. Pokes it over the top to Lambert. Handball to Sketcher. Wanted his right boot and then zigzagged the other way. And then with the left, poked it to the hot spot. Shane Allen's around this one. Mike Crummett coming through there was Stern. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Ball spills free. Somehow the umpire said play on. Marson grabs the footy and then Benjamin Marson slams it through the middle. No will get their second. They're 2-1-13. Rowville 2 behinds, and that's a bit of a 11-point play there for the Bulls, Brash, because Mark Seedsman really should have tied the scores up before.
Yeah, it's not good there for Rowville. But Noble Park, Ray, if they've taken all their chances so far.
Oh, they certainly have, but Rowville's got to tighten up in the midfield. There seems always to be 1 or 2 Noble Park players loose in that centre square.
So Ben Wise won't be a happy man because scores could have been level, but instead, as Matty said, effectively a 12-point play. Up they go in the middle again. Byers got high, got the knockdown, but it's fallen for Rowville, and they'll go forward to inside 50. Punched away, though, as the ball on the ground. Trying to get his hands on it there was Tua. It's on the ground again, and big strong tackle coming in. There's Seedsman on the bottom of it. He won't get that out, I don't think, as the umpire comes in and says, we'll be here all day, so I'll throw it up.
Yeah, that was a really, really hard piece of football there.
One that both sides.
Oh.
So it's getting a bit willing, that's for sure. Up it goes again, Byers, but coming over the top nicely was the Rowville man. That's Liu, way late inclusion. Now the Noble Park looked to run it off half-back. Strong tackle by Frawley, though. And the umpire says we'll throw it up again. So really starting to become a really contested game out here. Nothing too surprising about that as Byers gets the tap out of the middle. Hooked off the boot of ZJ inside 50. Can someone get on the end of it almost? Now the ball falls for Noble Park and they get it out. Cries a ball. Goes out the back and it's kicked away by Woolga. Out towards the boundary line.
Oh, good mark.
Brilliant mark taken over there.
Cooper McDonald it was on the far side of the ground.
That was a Dermot Brereton mark, Matty.
Can he kick the goal now, Ray?
I tell you what, he's got plenty of height on the kick coming inside 50, and there's a lot of Noble Park defenders there, and in the end it was just a bit too easy, and the mark is taken and Noble will survive.
Once again, Brash, a poor entry.
Yes. They're not doing themselves any favours whatsoever.
3 Bulls at the top of the square, and that's where they kicked it. Byers took the mark and then kicked it out to the far side of Pat Wright Senior Oval, and Jack Francis just unloads a barrel down the line to a one-on-one. Marson does well, kept his feet, could handle over the top to the Lambert, ignores that option, dribbles it towards goal, and it thuds into the goalpost padding. Ben Marson, he might look back and think he's burnt his teammate there. Could have handballed and set up a certain third goal for the Bulls, but they're all over him here as the kick out from the Hawks is a scrappy one. Hall got his handball away, but it'll fall into hands this time of Jordan Marson. He'll have a shot for goal from 40, and it'll go straight through the middle. It's all the Bulls here at Pat Wright Senior Oval. They are 3-2-20. Rowville just the 2 behinds. We have gone 17.5 minutes here in this first quarter as we go to Jared Beanland in the score centre.
Mitcham 4 straight 24 to Beaconsfield, 3-1-19 out there at Walker Park.
High scoring start at Walker Park. Ray, Rowville just look a little bit rattled. They're making a lot of skill errors and they just look like they're not taking their time. That kick out there, really keen to move quickly and just no one was set up.
That's the way they play, but they're just fumbling at crucial stages and a couple of them just not keeping their feet. It's early days yet, boys.
That's right. Let's not write them off just yet. 18 minutes gone on this first term as Rowville win it out of the middle. They go inside 50. Can they hit a target? It's been punched away, but it's gone very high in the air. They'll get an opportunity to get the ball in. They're going looking for it was Lockman, but the whistle's gone. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up. So
They seem to have 2 and 3 always around the contest, Noble Park, or depending on which end of the ground the ball's at.
So, again, the hit out goes the way of Rowville. Nice little handball out there from Davey. Can they get it back inside towards the full forward line? Seedsman, it's been towed off the ground, and it will just dribble through for... No, it's going to go almost out of bounds. Stays in over there, though. That's brilliant play. That's Davey. He tries to duck away, and I think he's got a high tackle, has he? No, he's been done for holding the ball. So, Goikoa, I think it is, in that back pocket. And he will bring it out for Noble Park. Kicks up towards the half-back line. Up they fly Byers. Sorry, it's not Byers. It's the other big man, Beach. So Beach now goes down the line. Trying to get a good ball coming over the top there from Eichhoff. Whistle's gone again. Another free kick. Getting a bit willing now. And here they go. That's Allen putting it into a good kick.
That's poor marking there.
And there was just no one with any kill.
I believe that's Fairbank.
Fairbank. He just stood there on his own. There was a couple of Rowville players, but they showed no urgency at all. And an easy mark, and it's been given off. There's the kick across the face. That's a goal, is it? It sure is. That is a leading contender for the Tobin Brothers goal of the day. That is Lockie McDonald. He's put it through, just got the handball off, and he's put it through, and that is a super goal. And Noble Park extend their lead. It's 4-2-26 to 2 behinds on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we've had around about 19 minutes.
Go to Paul Uconi in the Stats Centre.
Well, they're just being really efficient, Noble Park, early, haven't they? I mean, the inside 50s have been pretty even. Rowville lead that 11-10, but the tackles have been outstanding. They've already had 14 tackles, Noble Park, to 8 for Rowville.
It's a pretty damning stat considering Noble Park are 4 goals up on the scoreboard, and they're going to get another clearance here through Horton Milne towards the hotspot. Centre half forward, 30 metres out from their goal. Handball came through from Stanthorpe, but it missed everyone. Eventually, they clear. The Hawks away to half forward. Seedsman, who missed that shot of goal earlier, just stumbles on the spongy Pat Wright Senior Oval surface, and we'll have a ball in right in front of us in the broadcast position here on the balconies. We go to Jared Beanland in the score centre.
High scoring start out at Waverley. It's Waverley Blues 4-2-26 to Donvale. They've hit back 6-1-37.
Oh, there you go. Geez. Donvale bouncing back from last week's shock loss to Ferntree Gully as Beach won it down. Marson, that's Jordan, kicked a goal earlier, been involved in a fair bit of play. Sketcher grabs it, hooks it around the body. Lambert's around this one. Ball bounces awkwardly, and then Lambert just hovered, got the handball over the top to Ben Marson. He played for a free kick. Umpire said nothing doing. And we'll have a ball up left half forward for the Bulls. We're just about to tick into time on here. And we have now at Pat Wright Senior Oval. It is 4 goals the difference in the Bulls' favour. Hit out down from Byers. Eventually found its way through handballs to Wyckoff for Rowville, who goes wide. Looking for the runner in Nashua Wood. He goes backwards to Clark. And he will mark Joshua Clark at left half back for Rowville as we go to Jared Beanland in the score centre.
News from the Trows. Huge start for Montrose. 4-8-32 to Bayswater. Scoreless.
4-8.
Unbelievable.
Already 4-8.
That could have been even a lot worse. Frawley with the footy. Takes the mark on the far side of the ground. Rowville, they could do with a goal going into quarter time, that's for sure. Gets one over the top. Almost getting there was Liu, but he couldn't quite do so. On the ground, all sorts of calls of holding the ball and various other things as Tua goes to ground. And there's a bit of pushing and shoving in there. And in the end, the umpire's whistle is gone. It's getting very willing out there. Bit of frustration from the Rowville side, I think, as they just try and get themselves into this game. You feel like they're not too far off the pace, even though the scoreboard doesn't reflect it. As the umpire gets set to restart us. And so we're in time on in this first quarter. Up it goes. Whistle's gone.
They've been outworked around the contest, Rowville, in this early stage of the game. They just can't get their hands on the ball, and when they do, they're either slipping and sliding, and they just can't.
They haven't had a clean possession.
No,
they look a little bit rattled as we go to Jared Beanland quickly in the score centre.
I might have to rescind the Donvale score because the scores are all over the place at Waverley Park. It says that Waverley Blues have kicked 69 goals, so I'm not sure. So I don't know how reliable that is.
Big fly out here. Couldn't hold the mark in the end there. Could Anthony Marson. But yes, it looks like game day might have shat itself, Jared, for lack of better words there. Although the Waverley Blues, they can get on a roll.
They can.
Would be an incredible opening quarter. We've got a score from Quamby. North Ringwood 1-1-7, Doncaster 3 behind. So an absolute thriller out there between North Ringwood and Doncaster.
Next score we'll get from Montrose will be 8-16.
Yeah, well, they do kick in accurately down there at the Trows. So Horton Milne got the clearance, gave it to Jack Francis, about 55 from home. He could wheel and go here, Francis. He'll pretend to look for options, and in the end, he's going to set sail for home. He's got fairly good connection on it, but it's across the face. Oh, sorry, he hooked it for one behind. I think he should have done that straight away while he had the open goal square best, though. I know he made the distance easily, but he held up. When we all knew he wanted to have a shot.
That's right.
It's Noble 4-3-27. Rowville 2 behinds, 23.5 minutes gone first quarter here at the Pat Wright Senior Oval.
Trying to do the team thing. He's kicked 22 goals this year, Jack Francis, so he knows where the big sticks are. As Rowville get caught in their defence, it'll kick up the line there.
I think that really epitomises their first quarter, that little disposal there by Cooper McDonald.
Yep. Let's go down to the boundary side with Blake.
Yeah, just what I'm saying here from Rowville is they just, when they're marking it, they're just panicking a bit. Just slow the ball down a bit. That's what I'm trying to see. And get the little short chip if you really have to by Rowville. So try get their first score. Back to you.
Thanks, Blake. Alex Frawley on the bounce. You can see him on the ground there winning that hard ball. Now they get it forward, Rowville. Let's see if they can get something young. This could be the first goal of the day. Bounce, is that Seedsman, I think?
Arundel.
It's Arundel who charges into the square, kicks the goal, does he? Yes, he has. So Arundel puts it through. He's kicked 24 goals, so that is number 25 in the box. Hawks listed player finally gets one for Rowville, and that's very timely going into the quarter time break. 4-3-27 to 1-2-8.
That certainly makes a hell of a big difference. That one goal against the Tide, the way that Noble Park was scoring, and now if they can take stock at quarter time and get the next one, but the game's back on.
Absolutely, and they've definitely got the speed on them. What's one thing going Rowville's way? They definitely look quicker once the ball hits the deck. As we go back to Jared in the score centre, look at everyone getting their scores in, Brash. It's exciting.
A couple of Div 1 scores. East Ringwood 7-4-46 to Upper Fantry Gully 3 behinds, and Mooralbark 2-3-15 to Croydon 1-2-8.
Can I go the early crow on East Ringwood?
Yeah, you reckon they're home? There could be a strong breeze out there at East Ringwood Reserve. It was strong there last time we were out there, but Croydon there, good start for them.
My nephew will kill me every time I do that.
So up in the middle of the ground here, Kyle Martin, Noel Parker dominating the clearances, as I'm sure Paul Uconi will let us know the next time he gets a chance. Shane Allen got the ground ball, gave it off to Lambert, who goes across the body. I think that's Tobin Brothers' goal of the day.
I think it is.
It's Joshua Stern, apologies. Just got the little handball from Shane Allen, and then on the arc, at the junction where the arc meets the boundary, just hooked one across the body, and it floated its way through. And after all Rowville's efforts to get their first, Noel Park get their fifth. They're 5-3-33. The Hawks 1-2-8, 25 minutes gone in this first quarter. Paul, give us some stats around the clearances, because Noble, I think, on the look of it, are dominating there. Noble Park.
Noble Park, well, it's pretty close, actually. They are leading the clearances 6-5.
Just the matter of how they're using those clearances, isn't it, Ray?
Yeah, look, I think one big downfall with Rowville on the one-on-one contest, when the ball's kicked into the open, Noble Park are quicker to recover on the ground, and it goes over the back.
They've had 15 tackles in this first quarter, Noble Park.
So back in the middle, ball bouncing around Frawley, almost for Rowville, but he couldn't quite get his hands on it. That's in the tight stuff again. Trying to rip it out there was Shriek on the ground. And I think we'll have a stalemate. The umpire will throw it up. So we've had 26.5 minutes played in this first term, so we can't have a lot of time to go. Having said that, there has been 6 goals.
So there's a fair bit that's happened.
Yeah. So Beach out of the middle, knocks it down, and big tackle comes in there. I think it was Gorko on the ground. Umpire to throw it up again.
Ray, if you're Rowville, Ben Wise here, is it just keep this score line?
Yeah, just play the quarter out without letting them get another one and then re-establish.
So Frawley on the ground, gave it to Seedsman, but now it's in the hands of Fairbank, who jinks out of trouble. Little handball back in the hands of McDonald, who gets it into the beautiful kick. And the mark is taken. That is super play. And is that...
that's Stern again.
Stern again.
And given his last effort best, though, I'll back him in from here.
I tell you what, that was a lovely piece of play there by Fairbank. The way he manoeuvred his body in and around that contest to create that space to get the ball out to Marston in the first place, that was well done there by young Harley Fairbank.
So Josh Stern, he's got one already today. This is not an easy kick, but as Matty said, the last one was a pretty decent nudge, so we'll see if he can get this one on target. This will be a real killer for Rowville going into the break, but I reckon he's pushed it across. He has just going through for a minor score, so one more to the Noble Park total. 5-5-35 plays 1-2-8 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We've had nearly 28 minutes gone.
We've got a couple of scores. So Doncaster have levelled it up, 1-3-9 apiece. Apparently under lights out at Quamby. So clearly there's a bit of a cloud cover out on the in the Maroondah Council. And Baroni at 2-4-16, South Belgrade 4-3-27 at quarter time. We'll go to Paul in the Stats Centre.
I've got to say something about the inside 50s. They've been very even, but Noble Park are just being more efficient.
Absolutely. Jake Arundel, Rowville's goal kicker, takes the mark on centre wing, but his kick was smothered. And the Bulls will get a chance to escape once again. Goikoa is underneath that football. Might get a free kick here. No, Damien Sully says, give it to me. But there is the quarter-time siren. It's been a big display here from Noble Park as they look to get back on top of the Premier Division ladder. Damien Sully in there. There was an attempt to start a little bit of a tussle at quarter-time, but the experienced Damien Sully said, come on, boys, enough of that. Head to your huddles. It's Noble Park 5-4-34, and the live ladder would have them on top of it. Not that we have the live ladder going, Besto. Rowville 1-2-8. The goal kickers, Brett Beston.
The singles to Jordan Marson, also Horton Mill, McDonald, the other Marson, Benjamin, of course, and Josh Stern. But had two, but he kicked one in the end. And the only goal kicker so far for Rowville was Arundel, who's kicked one goal.
Well, we're going to head to our break here at quarter time in the Eastland Match Room. When we come back, we'll hear from one of the coaches down there with Blake and Will, and we'll get into the second quarter as the Hawks look to get back on even terms.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, well, yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
So welcome back to the Pat Wright Senior Reserve. We're at the quarter-time break at Noble Park on top at the moment, 5-4-34 to 1-8, as we just await the respective huddles to break. And some interesting messages, I'm sure, going to be coming out of the Rowville huddle. Ray, if you were Ben Wise at quarter-time, what would you be saying to the Rowville side?
Well, the first thing I'd be saying is don't panic, because in many a game, Rowville's been in the reverse scoreline against other sides, and other sides have got back into the game. So there's no reason why they can't get back into the game. But what I think is they've got to steady the game, slow it down at certain times, but then also keep their feet and get back to what they've been doing all year, because, look, they've certainly been outplayed so far.
Brash, who's won the midfield battle in this first team? I suppose you'd say Noble Park.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. But and that comes a lot because out of the ruck contest too. I think that the vacancy of shower makers at the moment is certainly hurting Rowville too.
Yeah, let's go boundary side.
Hey boys, just with the Rowville coach here, Ben Wise. Ben, interesting first quarter. You were saying in the huddle that everything that's been done so far to change you can control is controllable. What was the main takeaway from the first quarter for you?
They just executed a little bit better. Got it on the outside. We collapsed around the footy. So we just got to make sure that we get better layers around the footy, so then we have more coverage, and just be happy to sort of slow it up a little bit. They were trying to get the game really fast, and we just allowed it, and they had better coverage on the outside, which hurt us a bit.
What's the game plan going forward, particularly with the tools from Noble Park?
Yeah, similar, mate. That's all right. I didn't think that they had that big of influence. I thought Tommy was good in the ruck, and I think Myers got one late down deep, but Tyrese is competing really well, and so is Tommy. So we'll be fine with that.
Thanks so much. Cheers, Ben.
So Melbourne's best dressed man, Will Faulkner, down there with Ben Wise, the Rowville coach, as we go into the score centre.
All right, so we've got Ferntree Gully, 6-1-37. Huge start against Coldstream, 1 straight 6. And we go back up to Premier Division as well. Interesting clash between the 3rd and 4th places here. Baldwin 5-3-33 to Doncaster East 4-2-26. Blackburn are looking a little vulnerable. They're at 1-2-8 against Berwick, 1-5-11. And, of course, at quarter time, it is North Ringwood versus Doncaster, 1-3-9 apiece.
And just quickly, Paul, some stats if you've got that sort of stood out in that first quarter for you.
So the tackles really stood out for me in the first quarter. 15 tackles to 10 in favour of Noble Park. Clearances 7-5 in favour of Noble Park. The inside 50s were fairly close, 14-13, but Noble Park just had more shots. They had 9 scoring shots from 14 inside 50s to Rowville just 3 from 13, and intercept marks, Noble Park 3-1.
So
we're going to go to the other Banderota Besto. Blake Tennant was over at the Noble Park huddle.
Yeah, g'day guys. Yeah, just got down with Noble Park's coach. He was really happy with the forward pressure. I think you really touched on about that one, Paul, with the tackles. They've been really good with that. But another thing as well that I've noticed is they want to expect that they're going to lose a contest, but they just want to draw the numbers back. And they're also looking for Rowville, how they use the ball. They're having a sweeper, always looking for that kick. So they're going to try to stop that and put more goals on the scoreboard.
Well, it's a chaotic start to this second quarter, thank you, Blake, where there was a scrappy contest that cleared out to centre wing. Kyle Martin lost his footing, Jackson Sketcher made an error, and then randomly the Rowville midfielder just booted the ball out of bounds on the full towards the canteen, Ray. Yeah. He didn't even go the wrong way, he just went sideways.
I don't know what Lockie McDonald was thinking.
Don't know what's happening. So again, the scrap continues because Glenn brought the ball in towards Stern, who dropped a low chiselling one, and then Stapleton just bombed it high down the line, and everyone could just sort of reset as Mitchell Woolger takes the intercept mark at right half back for Noble. And now there's a 25. This has been the most chaotic 45 seconds of Premier Division football all year.
Yeah.
So Woolger, short, out wide to Sketcher. Even that one just made the distance. He goes short to Martin. They're all over them here, Noble Park at the moment. Rowville just look like they're still waking up a little bit. So Kyle Martin plays on, runs past McDonald and pumps it inside forward 50. Beach has got the front spot, but McDonald, Derby Burton took the intercept mark and then switches dangerously. The ball up in the air. Byers got a fist on it. And then Noble Park, Rowville are just making errors at the moment. It's going to trickle through to McDonald. If he's got Sketcher on the outside, gives it to him. Sketcher snaps across the body. And then down there on the last line of defence, taking a strong mark is Mitchell Schrook. And Rowville can breathe and bring it out to the broadcast position. Big fly across from Beach, wasn't really looking. The Falcon from Seedsman worked out okay. Going to Zijai. And then Lachlan McDonald fell over despite not being involved in the play. And then Ali Zijai turned it over, and now there's going to be a free kick going the way of Noble Park. So there's 25 against Tyrese Lou. I'm sorry, Besto. I'm trying to describe the action to the fans, but there's so much happening. I can't concentrate on just one thing. So I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a free kick going the way of Noble Park, and there's been a 25. So they'll have it about 65 from goal, and it's in the hands of Lachlan Quaife.
Take a breath, Matty. You deserve it. Free kick for Noble Park. They go inside 50, trying to find a target. Up they fly. Ball on the ground, but the danger's not over yet. Little handball out there from Stainthorpe. They're still in a bit of trouble. Stainthorpe tries to get a second go. Pushed off the ball, McDonald. Ball comes back inside, but they'll mark it safely in the goal square. It's Shrook. Nice and secure. Gets it out to about half back, but it's going to come back. Marked there by Glenn. Glenn decides to go inboard to Martin. Martin goes short, but it's well cut off there by McDonald. Ball on the ground. Socket off the ground there. Sketcher goes and looking for it, but he's beaten there by a teammate. Now it's out to Sketcher, and in fact he's made a bit of a hash of that, and it's gone out of bounds in the right forward pocket. So frenetic start to this
I know.
second
I was
term.
about to say this. I know it's the way Rowville play, Ray, but surely at some point someone's just going to take a mark and just stop.
Well, not only that, they're running past the ball, they're fumbling it, they're dropping their marks. There's not much else they can do wrong.
So Byers got the hit out down. Horton Milne kicked the opening goal of the game. Chris Horton Milne in similar circumstances. This one's out of bounds on the full. So let's see if Cooper McDonald, a young Dermot Burton, can just calm things down here for Rowville, who trail by 26 points 3 minutes into this second quarter.
I actually reckon Noble Park are actually beating Rowville at their own game here, Ray.
They are, Brash. They certainly are.
So McDonald went down the line. Byers came across, affected the spoil. Fairbank hooked it inside forward 50. Schrook gathered it, took his time, and the umpire said holding the ball. And Joshua Stern will get the free kick about 45 from home.
That was a really good tackle there.
Brash, I just wondered, I don't blame
Stern
the guy.
goes short, he's got Marston all on his own, he takes the mark, 25 metres out, 45-degree angry.
I was going to say, I don't blame the guy who picked the ball up and was tackled, but is there any talk out there? To me, there's no talk. They're all playing as individuals.
Yeah, they look overawed at the moment, Rowville. Noble Park have come out to play off the back of a pretty disappointing effort against Baldwin last week. So it's Benjamin Marston. There's three of them out there, Besto, so you always have to double check, sorry, the first name. He's already kicked one today. Jordan has one as well.
There's actually three of them.
That's what I said. Anthony's the only one who hasn't kicked a goal yet today, Brash, so he'll be feeling left out. So Ben Marston comes in. It's across the face off the boot. It might not even get the distance, and it's a strong mark taken by Byers. All's well that ends well. It's all coming up Noble Park at the moment. And Kieran Byers, the big man, he wore a glove against Baldwin last time we were here, so disappointing.
He had a good game, Byers, so far.
Did.
He's working really hard around the ground, Ben.
I guess he came in pretty confident, knowing he didn't have to go against Shoalmakers, so he's gone the check side. And it was always narrow from the big fella, one behind. But yeah, he's come into this game, Kieran Byers, I think with a bit of confidence, knowing he doesn't have to go up against Shoalmakers as we go to Paul Uconi in the Stats Centre.
Well, they've started off hot early in this second quarter, Noble Park. Already 5 inside 50s to zip in favour of Noble Park, and a record number of intercept marks in this second quarter, 3 apiece.
Zijai goes down the line. Byers, that man we were speaking about, couldn't quite take it. It's on the ground. Will it come out? It does, and it's hurried forward off the boot. Oh, great, fantastic grab, but it's Shrook who got him there.
Well, he's keeping them afloat here at the moment, isn't he, Ray?
He is, yes.
Yeah, he's playing a one-man band in defence at the moment and needs a bit of help, though. Is the dusty old kick across field. It might still work out. Awkward bounce on the far side of the ground. They get it forward, but they've turned it over. Now Jordan Marston gets it off. I think it's Jordan Marston, sorry, as the ball goes inside. Now here they come forward again, Noble Park. Little chiselling kick to the edge of the 50-metre line. It's been spoiled away, towards the far side of the ground. Chasing it over there is Noble, but they just ball on the ground. Trying to pick it up was Davey. It's a little bit messy this period of play. Now they get it inside 50 Noble Park, but that's not a great kick. Easily cut off there by Young. Gets a quick handball off. Now it's in the hands of Clark. Clark goes inboard. It goes over the top of the head of McDonald and Stapleton. And they've got a bit of a chance here. Zijai out on this wing. He's got plenty of toe, but he had to stop, wait for the ball to bounce. Now he puts it on the boot, goes into the pocket, and it's well spoiled. Good work there by Glenn coming across, and the ball out of bounds.
Go to Jared Beelan in the score centre.
All Div 4 scores here. Forest Hill 2 straight 12 to Surrey Park 3-5-23. Churnside Park 1 straight 6 to Sylvan 6-6-42. And Kilsyth 3-4-22 to Nunawading 1-1-7.
So no one got a hit on it for the ruckman. Cole Martin gathered the loose ball, gave it to Glenn, and he just sort of sauntered through the middle of the ground and ran too far. And he went to bounce it, and then it was just the little cut-off from Trainer that made him take a couple of extra steps and might have saved a goal there for Noble Park. So Brolick, short ball to Clark. But look how well Noble have set up behind the ball. It's a sea of blue and yellow. That kick, though, into the pocket is a delightful one. Onto the chest of Lachlan McDonald, I believe.
They need to score off. They've got to score off this opportunity because they've been very few and far between for them so far in this match.
Well, that's probably the first time, Ray, that they've actually taken a breath with the footy. Brolick just sort of slowed things down, and they've ended up finding an option.
And Joshua Clark, he's been their best player up to this date. He's had a bit of the ball.
So Lachlan McDonald had a fantastic year this year. We're probably in the team of the year running from just inside the arc here at Noah Park. It's a toe pokey sort of kick off the boot, but it's gone straight through the middle. If his celebrations are anything to go by, so the Hawks get their second, a much needed one. And despite the onslaught from Noble early in this quarter, it's Rowville who opened the scoring. They're 2-2-14. The Bulls 5-5-35 have gone 7.5 minutes in the second quarter, and to get more scores, we'll head over to Jared Beanland.
The important one of the Bear Cave today, the Basin are up 5-3-33 to Templestowe at 2-3-15. And just a reminder of the game last night at Jubilee Park, Ringwood won that 19-11, 125 to Knox 139.
Yeah, it's a tough night at the office for Knox. So Rove will get one back early in this second quarter. Just what the doctor ordered as we go boundary side.
Yeah, just found out a matchup that's really happening at the moment. It's building. It's between Lockie McDonald and Jackson Sketcher. They'll be looking likely to be on each other. I don't know if you've seen it, but they just come off at the same time. So expect them to go lock-ons against each other.
Thank you, Blakey. Well spotted. As the ball goes into the clinches, wrapped up there is Brolick. And Blyces will ball it up. So 21-point margin. Rowville just hanging around. That goal certainly keeping them in touching distance as Beach gets the head out into the tight stuff on the grounds, and the umpire says we'll ball it up. And Zijai it is, and comes to his feet. Good tackle by Jordan Marson. It's a good job the Marson brothers aren't triplets, and then we'd have all sorts of problems, identical triplets. So the ball goes down. It's a handball inside from Lockman. And they're looking okay, Rowville, but they just look a little bit panicky at times as the ball has been turned over, but they'll have time to go back. Is that Frawley, I think, who Wood it is. Goes back, kicking, trying to get his hands on it over there. McDonald, now they go inside, and Noble have got it, but that's a big, strong tackle coming in there from Davey.
Yeah, rode him into the ground, Matty, unfortunately.
So free kick going the way of Noble Park. Quaife chips it across the half-back line, finds Morrison.
It's the first time we've called him today.
He's been a bit quiet. Now he goes...
Probably a good thing for Noble Park fans.
Yeah.
So right across the other side of the ground, and they're just playing from one side of the ground to the other at the moment.
Well, this is what Rowville needed to do, though, Ray. They've actually slowed Noble Park down.
Yep.
And so a mark taken by Horton Milne. Horton Milne finds a target. They've really put the screws on, or the clamps on them, should I say, Rowville here. They just got nowhere to go, Noble Park. Struggling to get the ball forward. Finally, they decide just to go long, almost in desperation. Getting up there nice and high with Stainthorpe. Ball falls to the ground. Quick hands, but they've got it, Noble Park, and they can come away and get something out towards this wing. In they go, and that's a mark taken there. It's one of the Marsons. It is a Benjamin who comes forward and takes the mark. So just when they looked like they were struggling to get the ball forward, suddenly they burst out, and Benjamin Marson takes a good strong mark on the lead.
And the reason why they're having a shot for goal was a drop mark by big Tom Lockman over there on the outer side of the wing, and it's a turnover.
Yeah, mistakes. Little mistakes like that can cost you. So Benjamin Marson, he's kicked one today.
One of the Marson women can tell their blokes apart, Brett.
Men or women, Brash, don't put them in there.
So it's Ben Marson, as I said, lucky they're not identical triplets. Benjamin Marson, and probably back him in from here. He's a good kick, and he's put it through.
That hurts.
Big roar from the crowd, and that does hurt. So the margin out now to 27 points. So every time Rowville get one and start to think they might be coming back into the game, they concede one. 6-5-41. Plays 2-2-14 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we've already had 10 minutes. It's been a quick second quarter.
We're going to go to the score centre with Jared Beanland.
So it's good news, bad news for Fair Park fans. The bad news for them is they're down to Warrandyte 8-5-53 to 2-3-15, but they're champions in the duel against Scoresby are up 6. That's Whitehorse up 6-2-38 to Scoresby at 3-6-24.
And just give us a bit of context there in case someone's just tuned in randomly, Jared, to hear you call Fair Park's champions Whitehorse.
So Whitehorse need to beat Scoresby if Fair Park are to stay up and stay in the fight in the relegation race in Division 3.
Thank you, Jared. Well explained. As a handball chain comes to Chris Morton in the centre circles for Noble. Kick out in front of Fairbank. He's got Hall for company and Ryan Hall one out. But then Fairbank just pressured him, and then Goikoa, Jacob, came to help him out, and we'll get a ball up on the half-forward flank for the Bulls.
The way this game is going, I reckon Noble Park are around 2 goals about making it really difficult for Rowville.
It's a similar game to the Baldwin game, Brash, where it's not really, it's everywhere except on the scoreboard where it feels even. And Noble Park can kill this game before half-time. As Wood extracted the ball, got it to Stapleton, but he's been pinged for holding the ball. Wood must have been incorrect disposal because he definitely got rid of it before Pryor. Lambert pokes it inside 450, looking for Marson. McDonald came across the front. Stainthorpe under pressure from his own teammate. Handball, turned it over straight to Jack Francis. Kick across the face. Zijai sort of was in two minds, and then a good tackle from Jai Colclough. Pressures Shane Allen over the boundary line for boundary throw-in. Ali Zijai, of course, came across from Noble Park, so there's a bit of feeling in this one for him. But, yeah, just in two minds at the last second there. It's thrown in. Marston will go up unattended. Slapped down straight to Lockie McDonald, whose clearance got lucky for the Hawks and wobbled it and bounced its way through to the centre square. And there'll be a free kick going the way of the Hawks. Matthew Davey will get the free kick off the ball, which is fortunate for them because Joshua Tua just poked one inside forward 50.
Boundary.
As we go boundary side to Will Faulkner.
A little bit unlucky there, that free kick. That looked pretty legitimate down from the boundary.
Tell you what, his father makes one of the finest burgers I've ever had, Matty Davey.
So Davey, short ball to Clark, who's been one of the Hawks' best players, the ex-Eastern Rangers skipper. Goes wide to Lachlan McDonald, kick their second goal. He'll pump it inside forward 50. He's looking for Tyrese Liu. Morrison had the front spot, but Liu ended up with the footy on the second grab. Colclough around this footy, buzzing around the number 70 for Rowville, and he's caused the stoppage inside forward 50. Let's see if they can get a goal from this one. We've gone 13 and a half minutes in this second quarter.
They really are bullying Rowville off the ball, Noble Park.
Just stronger, aren't they? Just more experienced. As Clark came through and he's just booted that ball out of bounds on the full. So he got the clearance but cleared it right out of bounds, and Noble Park will get a reprieve. We'll go to the stats centre first with Paul Uconi, and then we'll jump down to Blakey Tennant on the boundary.
Well, I was speaking about the inside 50 battle in the first quarter, how it was all even. Nowhere near it in the second quarter. It is all Noble Park, 9 inside 50s to 3.
Down to the boundary with Blake.
Yeah, guys, just touched on before about Sketcher and McDonald. They're currently on each other right now, so the two heavyweights of the comp going at it, so it's good to see.
Always nice when you get a clash like that, as the ball is knocked out of bounds, so we're just waiting for the umpire to throw it back in. So we've had 14 minutes in this second term. It's a 27-point margin. Rowville could do with the next two, you would think, as the ball goes up. Byers got to the front spot, took it out of the ruck. Now it's out wide. Well, they've smothered the handball. Still there, though. Rowville certainly fighting. They're in there hard on the grounds, and there's a whistle.
Yeah, over the shoulder.
And
it was there.
It's a free kick. So I always think it's unlucky when a player's on the ground getting done for a high tackle. But you're right, it was there, but it's a bit hard to know what else to do when there's a guy lying on the ground. You try to go low, but Zijai will go back. Just the mandatory Matthew Lloyd throwing of the grasser.
Left footer here, Brash, so it's not the right side for him, but he is a brilliant ball user.
Yeah, it's certainly not that angle of the dangle here today for it, is it?
So here he comes. What's he going to do? Drop punt on its way.
Decent kick.
He's got it, I think.
Yeah,
that is a fantastic goal, and that's right up there for the Tobin brothers' goal of the day. I wouldn't have given him much hope, to be honest, from that angle, but that is a fantastic goal as we go boundary side with Blake Tennant.
Yeah, that goal there, he just went to the crowd, straight to Noble Park, and gave him the little bird. So the little rude figure got in there.
He's still going. He's giving it to you, Blakey. What have you said to him? He's giving it to you. Are you standing wrong place at the wrong time, Blake? Because he's just flipped you the bird.
Never seen this little boundary in my life.
You don't come to the boundary, do you, Blake?
We might need security down there for Blake in a minute.
Well, and actually, that looked a lot like Blake Tennant's celebration he sent me earlier today. But an important goal for the Hawks. It's back to 21 points. Hit out, though, straight to Horton Milne. Noble Park are bullying them in the middle of the ground. Handball to McDonald, back to Horton Milne. Low ball to the top of the square. Will it float onto the chest of a Bulls player? Marston picked it up on the ground. Shimmied, handball to himself. Kick was smothered brilliantly by Eichhoff. And then Young got a handball away. Trainer to Frawley, chipping ball down the line, looking for Davey, but it's spoiled by Joshua Tua, who knocked over the line. We'll have a boundary thrown on the far side of the ground as we go down to Will Faulkner.
A few rumours floating around that may have actually been flipping off the bird towards my RMs and jeans, just so they're on the sidelines. Yeah,
he would have wanted to know what they were.
You fashion plate, will you?
As it's thrown in, Liu won the hit out down, but Horton Milne got another clearance inside forward 50 for the Bulls. Here comes Stern. Already kicked goal of the day earlier. Might have got a push in the back. Umpire said nothing doing. Sketcher pushed off one Rowville player and then drilled the ball back to his partner in crime, Kyle Martin. And he marks 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. And this won't be any issue for the great Kyle Martin.
Ray, I can't help but feel that if Rowville cannot stop the influence of Martin, Horton, Milne and Sketcher, I think they're in trouble for the rest of the afternoon.
Well, they're the key
I know,
key
but
players.
they're getting their hands on the ball too much.
Yeah,
So
well,
Martin will come in, 45-degree angle, 35 metres out, kicked plenty of these in his time. He's pushed that across the face. And it's through for one behind, 6-6-42 the Bulls. Rowville 3-2-20. We've got an update Lee Kimpton-wise. He's on 96 goals, so he's got 2 at the moment as we go to Jared Beanland in the score centre.
Well, just on that match, Sylvan are 11-7-73. Churnside Park still just the one straight 6.
Right, they're handballing it to him in the square now. He's getting there today.
He'll do it.
Getting some Joe the Goose as a
He'll be getting jealous there, Kimpton.
So
11 goals.
Stainthorpe puts it forward. Mark nicely taken there. That's McDonald.
He's done well, that kid.
The Dermot Brereton look-alike as the ball has been given. As poor kick and Marson got to the front spot, knocked it down, and they're off here with ball. Ball goes short. Nice kick finds Allen. Every time they look for lightly Rover, they just do the wrong thing at the wrong time, and the mark is taken, waltzing into the inside 50 there is Kyle Martin, and he will go back and line up from probably about 40 metres, maybe just a little bit more.
This one's dead in front though, Besto, so he shouldn't have any problems.
Rowville's had one clear winner. I think Eichhoff is taking the points against Shane Allen at the moment.
So Kyle Martin off the back of another Rowville turnover with an opportunity to extend Noble Park's lead. You'd think he would get the distance. It'll just be a question of accuracy, and he's got it. Beautiful kick from Kyle Martin, arguably the best player in the competition. He has been for a number of years, and he puts it through for his first of the day, and the margin is extended. It's out to 48 playing 20, 7-6-48 to 3-2-20 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we're nearly 19 minutes gone in the second term.
We'll go to Blake Tennant on the boundary.
Yes, he's back on the ground now, so all clear. So hopefully it's all clear for now.
What were you saying? He'd injured his middle finger.
Oh, maybe.
And that's what he was trying to tell you, Blake. I've hurt my middle finger. We go to Paul Yaconi in the Stats Centre.
Well, these statistics are pretty damning here. The clearances, Noble Park lead that 5-1, and marks inside 50, the same number, both in favour of Noble Park.
We'll give him another clearance, Paul, because Sketcher's got this one out of the middle, straight to centre forward. Marson juggled the mark.
And another mark inside 50.
Yep, we'll pay him that one. He's just inside. And Benny Marson can go back. He's been a bit of a nuisance up forward for the Bulls. He's kicked 2 goals already this game. Ben Marson. And he can go back now, this time from pretty much the same spot Kyle Martin kicked from almost a minute ago to put the margin out to 34 points and keep Noble on top of the live ladder. Comes in very close to the man on the mark. Good connection off the boot. Straight over the umpire's hat. Did not have to move. Marston's got 3. The Bulls have got 8. They lead 54-20 as we tick into time on in this second quarter. Ray Baird, what can Rowville do to stop this Bulls avalanche?
Well, probably at the moment, nothing. No, look, they just got to try and slow the game down and get the game back on their terms. Even if it just slow it down, short pass, work it out of the half back, out of the back 50, and then just hope they can turn it around. But the way it's going, Noble Park's all over them. Let's go down to Paul in the stats.
I also want to speak about the inside 50s. It's an avalanche. The Noble Park lead that 13-4 in this second quarter.
So a damning stat, that's for sure.
Make that 14-4 there.
14-4 is a beautiful mark is taken over there. That's Francis. Hasn't seen too much of it today, but he's taken that one. 22 goals for the season for Jack Francis. Got a chance to add to that. And it just keeps going from bad to worse for Rowville.
Well, they're just walking it out of the middle, aren't they, Besto? Quick update from Combi Reserve. North Ringwood 3-4-22, Doncaster 3-6-24.
So we'll just watch this kick, and then we might pop into the score centre and see what is happening around some of the other games. It's got a long run-up. So let's wait and see this kick. This to make it a 30-point margin. Kick on its way, but it looks to be across the face. And it might be out of bounds on the full.
He's missed everything there.
He's missed everything. So free kick to Rowville as we go to the score centre.
So we're talking about the avalanche here. There's another one going on in Premier Division as well. Baldwin's 9-7-61 to Doncaster East 5-2-32. And belated quarter-time scores from Domini Reserve 1-5-11 apiece. Park Orchards versus Norwood.
So Rowville looking to work it down the far flank. Marson on the ground. It's been socket off the ground there by Clark. to no one in particular. Picked up over there, a little bit of a shimmy. They kick forward by Noble Park, though. That's been cut off in the hands of Lockman. Lockman goes out wide, trying to find a teammate. Can't do so. A little flick over the top there from Marson of the Benjamin variety. And Noble Park again will come across the half-back line. Now that's Jordan Marson. Too many Marsons in this team for me. Shane Allen, should I say, goes right across, and the mark is taken by Gorkoa.
Gorkoa comes to the far wing. Maverick Taylor has to make a contest, does well, and then McDonald got the crumbs, handball off, eventually ends up in the hands of Eichhoff. His handball to Clark in the middle might work out. They're under pressure, but Stapleton does well. Got it to Arundel. He's got a man free on the flank. He finds him out there. That could be Matty Davey. It's not. It's Nashwood. He runs in. He keeps it low, and he kicks Rowville's fourth. So it wasn't pretty, but the Hawks made it work. Jeez. And they cut the margin back to 28 points. It's 8-6-54 the Bulls. Rowville 4-26.
A little bit better then by Rowville, although as you said in the call, they were certainly under pressure, but they did hit their mark, and that's the main thing.
Well, they kept the ball moving, didn't they?
They did.
They didn't panic too much. Did we go to Jared in the score centre?
So we've got Blackburn just edging themselves in front, 2-4-16 to Berwick, 1-5-11. And we've also got the Basin really putting it to Templestowe now, 12-4-76 to 3-3-21.
The Basin.
How can you pick the Basin?
The Basin. God. Rubber arm Ray will be happy you put them in the 5. Paul,
I put them in the 5 weeks ago.
You did. Paul?
I've got to say, even though Rowville have only had 5 inside 50s, they've kicked 3 goals from it. So at least they're being efficient when they're going into
They have had a much better quarter this quarter in terms of scoring power. They'll get another clearance here. The little kick around the corner from Tyler Edwards was smothered, and Marson, that's Anthony, got the handball to Tua, who got the handball away to Horton Milne, who hooks it around the corner to Shane Allen, and then he'll wheel onto the left. One-on-one down there. Byers should get the mark here. He had all the size on him. Francis tried to toe poke it rather than taking the footy. Stern gathers, busted the McDonald tackle, hooked it around the body. Skinny side. Already got the goal of the day. He was trying to one-up himself. 8-7-55 the Bulls. Rowville 4-2-26. 24 minutes gone in this second quarter.
So enjoying calling the game from the balcony today. We've got a big contingent up to our right, and they were about to go up if that had gone through, but didn't quite manage it. So Rowville to bring the football back into play. Long kick out towards the wing, getting over the back, trying to get his hands on it was Edwards. He's got it too, well done. Little handball down the line to Frawley. Frawley goes down the far side, but he might have kicked it out of bounds. No, it's still in over there.
There he
Rowville, that's brilliantly done. There's a little grubber kick along the ground. It's going to, it's just gone through for a point. That would have been a miracle goal, that one.
That would be the first time today Rowville's taken the ball coast to coast.
Well, it looks like it'd be the first time in a while, the way the Noah Parker pressured them. Update, Lee Kimpton's on 98 goals. So he's kicked another couple. And then halftime score, South Belgrave 44, lead Baronia 36. And South Croydon 43, lead Vermont 3-1-19. As the mark's taken out there by Jordan Marson for Noble Park. And he hooks it into the corridor. It's a dangerous kick, but it's come off to Jacob Goikoa, and he gets it out wide to Bodie Lambert, the bleached blonde hair. A bit of shame Woden about the haircut. 2 bounces, drives it long. Sitting in the hole is Byers, and he takes the mark. He's got about 3 metres on Jesse Eichhoff there. There was nothing Eichhoff could do about it, and Byers should go back and put this one straight through the middle to push the margin back out over 30 points.
Just too big and strong there.
And that was just coast-to-coast ball movement from the Bulls.
Yeah.
Just more fluency than their Rowville counterparts. Byers comes in, just chips it through the middle, and the Bulls extend their lead to 34 points, 9-7-61. The Hawks 4-3-27, 25 and a half minutes gone in this second quarter. How do they fix it, Brash?
Well, they've got to try and get the ball out of the midfield for starters, Rowville. And the thing is, when Byers goes down forward, it's creating a mismatch that Rowville can't match.
He's looked good, Byers.
And we go to Paul in the stat centre quickly.
Noble Park have been really good finding their options up forward in this second quarter. They have taken 8 marks inside 50 for this quarter. 8 marks inside 50 for Noble Park.
So I think Paul's pretty impressed by that as the ball goes up. Lockman it was, he got the hit out. Ball on the ground, trying to pick it up was Frawley, couldn't do so, and now Noble Park have got it away. A short handball.
Another centre clearance.
Another centre clearance. That'd be a damning stat if we could get that one up in the next couple of minutes. Ball goes down on the ground. Allen it was, he got the snap, and that's gone through, I think. The crowd's gone up. Shade Allen, and it's on, I tell you what. There's people flying everywhere. I'm assuming it's a... No.
And the scoreboards are Would shut itself too, because it's given Noble 6 goals for that one, Besto.
It's all happening out here.
Fortune telling in the score centre.
It's all happening out here.
I think there's a card coming out here.
Yeah, there was a bit of activity after the kick. Shane Allen it was.
Umpire reaching into his sock here. There's going to be a card.
It's a yellow card. Let's see who it is.
I think it's going against Rowville player. And
I think it's Kyle Stainthorpe.
Yeah, and Noble are going to get another shot at goal here, I think.
He's not happy either. So, Stainthorpe gets an early halftime break. He's off to the naughty corner.
You're right, Ray. He's not happy about that.
Yeah.
Now, Damien Sully's coming in. Now, I think there could be a free kick. Wait, there's a... So, there's going to be another free kick to Noble Park here.
Now, after all, did Allen's kick go through?
It did.
Yeah,
Allen's kick's a goal.
did.
So, it's 10-7-67. It's out to 40 points. And now Byers, who was taking the front of that Rowville attack, Besto, can go back, kick his second goal in a minute, and Noble's second goal in a second because the time hasn't started again, and make this margin 46 points. Kieran Byers, the crowd deathly silent. 20 metres out directly in front. Kicked it. It's getting a bit embarrassing now for the Hawks. Noble 11-7-73 after the Allen Byers double. Rowville 4-3-27, 28 minutes gone. I tell you what, Ray, they can fix a lot of things, but giving away a shot of goal like that, that's a coach killer.
It's stupidity. It's not going to get you anywhere, but it comes down to frustration. You know, that's all it is. You can't get frustrated. If you're being outplayed, you're being outplayed, and you've got to concentrate and try and work a way to get back into the game, but that's gone past them now.
Couple more scores, Jared.
So it looks like we've got some scores we can actually trust this time from the Waverley Blues Donvale game. Donvale actually up 8-4-52 to Waverley Blues 7-4-46, and also Scoresby coming back against Whitehorse 5-6-36 to 6-6-42. Close one there.
Thank you, Jared. So not much time to go in the first half. First half as the Beach tap out is on the ground. Going in there trying to get his hands on it was McDonald. Did well out of the, got the kick away, but the whistle's gone. So here's an opportunity now for Trainer, and that Trainer decides to go out wide. Kick finds its target. A bit slow though from Rowville. Edwards goes down the ground. And that's a good mark, is it?
That's 25.
That's 25 tunnelling. Yeah. That's pretty bad.
That's not a good one. Is it Alex Frawley, I think, who's...
looked like Frawley.
I think it is. He's going to... It's not going to be a 25, I don't think, but he's paid the mark anyway, or the free kick.
It is Alex Frawley. No, he definitely paid the 25.
He did, okay.
No, I think it's number 7.
Yeah, Lockie McDonald.
Is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Lockie McDonald.
You got to pay that. That's a definite 25.
McDonald. Has he got the leg, Ray?
Sorry?
Has he got the leg from here?
He needs to find the leg.
I say a good kick he will. Yeah.
Right him home, Besto.
Okay, Lachlan McDonald. He's taken a decent run up. He's just outside 50 when he makes contact, but he's off target. Certainly had the distance, but just not quite the accuracy. And it goes through for a minor score in the throes of half-time. It's 11-7-73 to 4-4-28 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and just over the 30-minute mark.
And Morrison brings it back into play for the Bulls. Goes out wide to Sketcher. They have absolutely towed them up. Just out of the middle, it was just a procession for that 10-minute period there. Horton Milne had about 5 carbon copy centre clearances that led to goals as McDonald came across the front of that contest. I don't give up on Rowville, though, because the way they do play, with that fast pace, they can get a run on the Hawks.
Look, I think Rowville will get a 10, 15-minute patch somewhere in this game that could get them back in the contest.
Yeah, they'll have to eat away at it, though. It won't all happen at once as Clark will get a clearance for them. Hooks it inside forward 50. Can they take a mark? They can. Seedsman found his way to the front of the pack with no one on him. He's taken the mark and just turned his back on the goal race, so he's clearly confident.
He's got to kick this goal, though.
That he can make the distance here.
This goal.
He's going to kick from just outside the arc on a 45-degree angle. How big are the arcs here, Besto? Probably 40?
Oh, something like that, yeah.
40, 45?
I'll just get me tape measure it, I'll let you know.
40.
Well, it's just it's always been a bugbear of mine, Ray.
Yeah.
Clubs always claim it's 50.
No.
Yeah, it's probably 42.225.
Yeah, here we go.
It doesn't look 50, that's for sure.
So Seedsman will kick from outside the arc in a similar spot that Ali ZJ gave the crowd a bit before. Noble kick the next 6. Comes in, kept it pretty low, kept it pretty straight.
And
it's
a goal.
through. I don't know why they keep shushing the crowd, though, Mark Seedsman. He's kicked the goal. Well done, but he's brought the margin back to 35. Or 39, sorry. You don't need to shush the crowd when you're 40 points down. Incredible. Good kick from Mark Seedsman. Interesting decision to shush the crowd. We've gone 31.5 minutes here, and Rowville have 5. They're 5-4-34. The Bulls 11-7-73.
I guarantee you one thing, they wouldn't be doing any shushing if it was a grand final.
It's just, I cannot fathom it. I cannot fathom it. I get the, I would just celebrate with my teammates here. Let's get into halftime with some momentum as we go to Jared quickly in the score centre.
Some lopsided Division 1 scores here. East Ringwood 96 to Upper Gully 3, Moral Luck 34 to Croydon 17. A little closer to that one. Montrose 48 to Bayswater 19.
So back in the middle of the ground.
What's that, 5-18, is
that Lockman in the middle of the ground there, Ray? There's a Rowville player down in the middle of the ground.
He's in a bit of trouble too.
That hurts.
Yeah,
if Blake or Will can get out there and just check who it is.
I think it's Lockman.
He was grabbing his left leg.
Yeah. He went in to try and grab the ball. I think you'll see it on the replay. And he was one of the...
I reckon it got stuck.
Cole Martin came up with the ball, but he's in a ton of...
Well, it's half-time though, Besto. Can you give us the goal kickers?
I can indeed, yes. For the Bulls, the multiple goal kickers, Byers has kicked a couple. Marston of the Benjamin varieties kicked 3. Singles to Allen, Stern, and also the other Marston, Jordan. Have I missed anyone? And I think Kyle Martin's got one as well.
Kyle Martin's kicked a goal. And then for the Hawks?
For the Hawks, goals to Arundel, 1, Seedsman, Clark, Wood, and Zedry.
Exactly. So at half-time, it's Noble Park 11-7-73, Rowville 5-4-34. It does look like Lockman is down. It's definitely something to do with his lower leg. Probably by the looks of it, the left one that he's keeping straight. We've got Blake Tennant down on the bench. He's going to have a quick half-time interview with Kyle Martin. Walk off with him, Blake.
Yeah, g'day, Kyle. You must be really proud about how the boys are going so far.
Yeah, look, we had a poor week last week. We've really focused on this weekend, and we've come out playing good footy, but as we know, it's only a half of footy and they're a good side.
What was the key, coming out? Obviously you wanted to look at how Rowville moved the ball, because they did it really well, but you guys stopped them. You must be really proud about that.
Yeah, our pressure's been really good. Everyone to a man's been manning up, manic pressure, and we're forcing some turnovers and getting some good scores from it, so we're really happy with how it started.
Yeah, all the best, Kyle. Good luck.
Thanks, Blake.
Just quickly on that quarter, boys, Rowville kicked 5 goals 4 to 6 goals 3. So it wasn't a lot of difference in the scoreboard.
In the end, wasn't it? If it wasn't for that double goal as well, it could be closer. But as we go to the break here, it is Noble Park 11-7-73 to Rowville 5-4-34.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, well, yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Pat Wright Senior Reserve. Noble Park versus Rowville in a Premier Division clash. Top of the table, first versus second. Noble Park leading 11-7-73. Rowville 5-4-34. We're into the halftime show here, and joining up on the balcony here after doing some great work on the boundary line, Will Faulkner and Blake Tennant. Gents, how are we doing? How are we seeing the game?
Yeah, good, thank you. It's been very, very interesting in the sense that Noble Park really just ran away with it in that second quarter. They looked really, really good in the first quarter, and the second quarter just completely blew them out of the water. Rowville had their chances. Going inside 50, they weren't bad, but it was getting it to their forward 50. That was the issue, and it has become very, very obvious on the scoreboard with the margin, looking very, very big at the moment.
And Blake, any particular players that have really stepped up on
definitely.
On
you got your usual suspects like Kyle Martin and Sketcher just roaming around, just what they do. But I think the big fella for Noble, number 10, Bryce, he's just been really good. He's bringing that big presence down in that forward line. Rowville just don't have an answer for him as well. But they're just playing really good footy. Like, they just want to get, they want to be the best side. You can definitely tell by that. It's definitely showing on the scoreboard. I think they kicked 6 goals that quarter to Rowville 4. So it's an interesting game, but, the answer is, can Rowville fight back? That's the real question, because I think this is really the only game other than Doncaster or Doncaster East where they lost the game there, and they came back. So I wanted to see if they can come back and win from here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, obviously this is a game with finals pedigree. So Rowville, they're going to need to step it up. Will, where do you think they have to do that?
I think the centre clearances is the big one. They just got completely outrun. I know a lot of people have been saying that across the media team here today. Centre clearances, if you're not winning it in there, you're always having to work from your back half, and it's not easy to go coast to coast, particularly against an outfit like Noble Park, who clearly brought their best football today. So I'd say in the middle, their forwards haven't been bad, but they just really haven't had the opportunity as well. And even their back line, some players have really held up quite well. Mitch Schrook was really good in the second quarter, had a couple of intercept marks, but you can only take so much in defence, and they've been hurt, I think, in the middle.
And Paul Yukoni in the stat centre, of course, you were telling me off air about one particular stat that was quite telling for that last quarter.
So a couple of things. There was no real pressure in that second quarter by both sides. There were only 9 tackles between them, but it was just an avalanche by Noble Park in that second quarter, just blown this game out. They had 17 inside 50s in that second quarter, 14 in the first. They've had 31 inside 50s for the game, and also up forward as well. They're finding their targets. They took 8 marks inside 50 in that second quarter, Noble Park.
That's huge. That's quite telling.
That's where the game's really been defined, really. Like, if you think about it, their goals have definitely been coming from inside 50. So
clearances as well. 9-3 in the second quarter.
Yeah, I just wanted to pose a question as well. Do you think partially it's a mental thing as well for Rowville? I mean, we saw a couple of the goals that were kicked, and there was a lot of stuff going off the ball in terms of, going back and forth with the crowd and other players.
And Blake.
And Blake, apparently, yeah. Is that something you really want to be doing when you're, 6-7 goals down? I would have thought the focus would be just to get back in the game before, I guess, retaliating with some of that stuff.
Yeah, it's odd. They seem distracted, and not having seen Rowville play before, it would be interesting to compare it with that game against Doncaster, with the one against Doncaster East, the 2 that they lost this year. I'd be fascinated to know what the mentality was in those losing games, or whether this is something that they want to take from winning games. Whether they want to have that strut, that arrogance, that sort of fake it till you make it kind of attitude to get themselves back into the game mentally.
And also, just to touch on as well, it's also this is a massive finals preview as well. We honestly could see these two sides high in September. Like, but if Rowville want to show this game at Bayswater, like they've just got to keep more. They've got to get more physical. Like, you know, like the tackles. I think, what are the tackles? Sorry, Paul. Sorry, buddy. There. What are the tackles? I just want to see the tackles for Rowville, like for the whole game. Like, what's it? Is it low or is it high for the tackle rating?
The tackles have been fairly close. They've had 14 tackles, Rowville, which, given they're a high-pressure side, is not usually like them. Noble have had 20. One thing I do want to point out about Rowville, even though they're down by 39 points, and the fact that they only had 8 inside 50s for the second quarter, they were really efficient. They kicked 4 goals, 2 in that second quarter, and I think that's what's keeping them in the game at the moment, Rowville.
Yeah. All right, tips for the rest of the game, gentlemen.
I think Noble Park blowed out, if I'm being honest. I think they've had an exceptional first half, and I'm really keen to see if Rowville can come back, but I think Noble Park quite comfortably for mine.
Yeah, Noble for me. If Rowville want to keep playing that, you know, as we talk about the game that they're trying to build, which is trying to get in their heads and all that, I don't think that's going to work here. I think Noble Park, I reckon it could get ugly. You know, for a 1v2 game, you wouldn't expect it on paper, but I think Noble to win by about 60 plus, I reckon.
Yep, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, they're really... It's Rowville trying to get into Noble Park heads there. It's not working. I mean, the way it's going, this could be 10 goals, maybe even more than that, because this has been a complete domination by Noble Park from this second term onwards. So I think, yeah, Noble Park will win this one comfortably. Rowville have a lot to do in this second half.
Yep, honestly, can't disagree with you guys. Noble Park, for me, will probably run on and take this, especially with the momentum behind them from the crowd. So we'll be back with you guys very soon for the third quarter. Thanks for joining us for the halftime show. Be back soon.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing kickboxing personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob Armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
So welcome back to the Pat Wright Senior Oval as we get set for the start of the third quarter, and it's Noble Park who are very much in control at the moment. 11-7-73, plays 5-4-34 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Both sides back on the field, just getting ready to resume combat, as are the umpires. As we get a quick word on from the boys, I guess, as we look towards the second half. Ray, can you mount a case for Rowville coming back?
Look, yeah, you can always get counter for them to come back. But look, up till this stage, though, it's been all Noble Park. Noble Park, they've beaten Rowville in this first half play at Rowville's own game. They've come out from the very first bounce and hit the contest as hard as they can, and they just moved the ball so quick. And Rowville, they just didn't know where they were at, particularly in that first quarter. That second quarter, they were a little bit better, but look, yeah, they'll go with. There's going to be some stage during this game where Rowville's going to get a bit of a spurt on and kick 3 or 4 goals on the end. That's their trait, and if they can do that, now I'm not going to say they're going to win the game, but they certainly need to get back in, Brash.
Yeah, I just said to Brett Beston offline, Ray, it was almost like a blitzkrieg at the start. You know, that old shock and awe tactic that the plane fighters used to use in the war days.
Yeah.
Right, you just hit them with a 10-tonne of bricks and they didn't know how to respond. Well, that's how Rowville have been since the start of the contest. But like you said, they're going to get a moment in time. And I think it's got to be the opening 10 minutes here. They've got to kick 4 quick goals just to put the pressure back on Noble Park.
Yeah.
So I think we're just going to get an update on the injury from half-time with Blake Tennant.
Yeah, boys, just got confirmation then. Rowville number 49, Tom Lockman is officially ruled out of the game. I think it looks like a leg. He's got ice on the leg, so it looks like he's done for the day. So Rowville man down already.
Thanks, mate. Is shock. Noble Park have got the first centre clearance of the half, and they're deep inside forward 50 already, continuing things as they were. So 39 points down, the Hawks, and a player down on the bench. Hopefully we find more about that leg injury to Tom Lockman. It looked pretty serious the way he went down at the end of the first half as it's thrown in. Byers worked his way to the front, kicked 2 goals in that second quarter. Torres Lou, who's playing after a year at Carlton VFL, got his handball away, and the Hawks will clear their lines in the Arundel direction, but it's over his head and over the line for a boundary throw-in on centre wing. So
Matty, that's one player you just mentioned who's got to get back, get into this game. You know, he's played at VFL level all year, and he's got to certainly get back into it.
Yeah, Tyrese Lou, we were so excited to see him out there in Hawks colours, but he's been bullied a little bit by Beach and Byers, who've just got more experience. Speaking of experience, there's Alex Frawley, got the clearance for Rowville and dumped it down the line. Arundel will lead Quaife to the football, but in the end it bounces out for another boundary throw-in. So big rugby union here from the Hawks, just gaining territory up the line. Pretty decent crowd in here at Pat Wright Senior Oval. Cars parked up and down the side streets as well. It's a nice venue, this one.
As you would expect with one playing 2 as well.
Exactly, and fairly local rivals as Beach took the shallow throw in, and then eventually the handballs worked to Sketcher, whose handball went through the hands of Alex Frawley, and Horton Milne, who I think's been best of field, gets the ball long inside forward 50. Byers had the front spot. Hall got the crumb though for the Hawks, and they should be able to clear their lines as McDonald, that is Cooper, gets it out wide to Wood, and Nashwood, who kicked a goal in that second quarter, has a chance to repel.
So Nashwood looking around for options. Needs to find some teammates. They need to get a bit of a chain going here. The kick out towards the wing. Walger's worked his way to the front spot. Ball on the ground though. Diving in there, I think it was Tua underneath, and he's copped a bit of one on the noggin too for his trouble. So he'll be feeling a bit sore. In fact, it's not, it's Marson.
Anthony Brollick's gone to full forward, Ray, which is something they do often.
Yeah, it's something they do often, but they've got to get it down there, Matty.
It's a good play. I was just saying Brollick is star on ball, the besto, going to play one out.
So they've got to try something as the kick goes forward from Trainer. Out it goes. Nice mark taken there by Ekoff. Ekoff goes inside towards, and here's a little chip kick into the forward pocket. Nicely taken. That's Zijai. Zijai goes, well, this is better from Rowville. It's almost like a training drill at the moment.
You've got to keep moving it, though.
They've just got to keep it going quickly. Not give the Noble Park defence time to set. Mark comes out. That's a mark.
Matty Davey.
Matt Davey comes over the top. I was about to say that has been spoiled by Walker because he was there, but Davey got in and he just took a fantastic mark. Brilliant contested mark and a great start to this third term.
The way that Rowville moved that ball out of defence, and they learned something from the first half, because that's what Noble Park did all through the first half.
Well, it wasn't play on at all costs.
No, exactly right.
So 24 goals for the season for this man. Looking to get 25, and this is an absolute must kick to get Rowville back into this game. Great kick. That's a terrific start to the third term. And Rowville get just the start they needed. They've pulled one back. Still a long way to go, but you've got to start somewhere. 11-7-73 to 6-4-40 as we go boundary side.
Yeah, that's the Rowville we know, isn't it? Like, just to see that ball there, just a little chip, that's all they need to do. They just need to slow the game down, get it back on their turns, because we know how good they are. They're on top of the ladder for a reason because of that great goal there. That was a much-needed goal. And let's see if we can get some more of this from Rowville.
That's for sure, Blakey. We go to Jared Beanland over in the score centre.
Lilydale scored 5-1 in the second quarter against Wantirna South. They're up now 5-7-37 to 5-3-33. Montrose 6-12-48 to Bayswater 4-26.
So back in the middle of the ground, free kick going the way of Noble Park, just as that soccer off the ground from Clark would have counted as a centre clearance to the Hawks. As we go back to Jared.
And just one more, Mitcham pulling ahead of Beaconsfield, 11-4-70 to 4-2-26.
Sketcher, short ball to Beach. And then kept running past him, but was covered by Davey. And then Beach, the big ruckman, just pokes it up in the Francis direction. And he takes the mark. Pretty much unopposed. Nice leap at the footy. And this will really annoy Ben Wise, Ray, because after that first piece of play there, they looked to have steadied into this game and settled after half-time. But Francis can go back from around about 55 metres out and put this margin back out to 39 points. So he'll come in here. We've got a beautiful angle of this. He's 15-degree angle, but it shouldn't trouble him. He'll just run around on the right foot here, Jack Francis. The number 18 for Noble Park. Good connection on it. Hooked it, though. Don't think he needed to strive for that much distance because he's booted that one into the cricket nets, Besto. But he's hooked it. One behind, 11-8-74. The Bulls, Rowville 6-4-40. 5 minutes gone, third quarter.
Well, cars parked over near the cricket nets. I hope it's okay. As Rowville bring the ball back into play. And so can they continue this good little spurt they've had the start of this third term? Down towards the wing, over there on the far side, but it's in the hands of nobody at the moment. Now taken by number 22 is Davey, and he gets thrown into the advertising hoardings over there.
The only thing you got to worry about, mate, is whether you got tyres left when you get there at the end of the broadcast.
The car will be is that why you made me drive today, bro?
So, and it goes. They've got a bit of a challenge in the ruck now with the lockman not there, Rowville, so they'll have to go to plan B. Here's Zijai. He's quick. He gets the ball inside 50. Mark taken. What a mark! Fantastic stuff. Coming up, it's Cold Cloud.
Joy Cold Cloud.
We're giving Zijai the rap because his play was fantastic.
That was a rundle.
It was a rundle. So that's two kicks Arundel's had this quarter, and both times the kick has found its way into someone taking a hanger.
That's right.
So Joy Coldcliff.
Tell you what, he's got a decent sleeve on his right leg, hasn't he?
Well, it's going the whole way down the body crash as well, the right arm as well.
Right arm
Runs
as
down
well.
the leg.
So it deserves a goal. It was some mark. Coldcliff. We don't have mark of the day, but if we did, I reckon that'd be the winner. Here he comes on its way. He's put it through.
Better.
So this is much better from Rowville, and they grab another one. As I say, you've got to start somewhere. 11-8-74 plays 6-5-46 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we're in the early stages of the third term.
7-4-46, Besto. You got the final score right. And that's the odd maths test. I've got the answer right. I didn't show him working. Ray, this is better from Rowville. They put some speed on the ball.
Look, Ben Wise would be happy with what's happened in the second half so far, but it's a long way. But it's the start they needed.
They do need to do something about this centre clearance, though.
Yeah.
This is an area that Noble have just dominated all day, but good to see. When Arundel gets his hand on the footy, something happens. But once again, Gaines got the hit out this time. Sketcher with one hand got the ball onto the boot and found Lambert playing in the front spot. He'll go to the top of the goal square. Looks like it's Byes down there. Just got rid of his opponent. Too big, too strong. And sorry, it's Jack Beach taking the mark down there. And he'll go back and line up from 10 metres out on a 45-degree angle, but he should really put this one right through the middle.
He just ragdoll him straight off the contest.
They are lacking just a big defender today, aren't they, the Hawks?
That's where they're missing shower makers, I reckon.
So Beach comes in, kicks through the footy. This one's into the cricket nets, but it's straight through the middle. Bulls reply. They're 12-8-80. Rowville 7-4-46. We've gone 7.5 minutes here in the third quarter to go to Jared Beanland in the score centre.
So we could have a big, great escape story here. North Ringwood 8-5-53 to Doncaster 3-8-26.
Oh, no.
That's going to be a fascinating one to look at, especially in the coming weeks as North Ringwood try to claw their way out of relegation. We've also got Berwick their proverbial rivals there down at the bottom of the ladder. 2-6-18, just losing it now to Blackburn 3-4-22.
It would be very, very unlucky for North Ringwood if they did win today and then Berwick somehow beat Blackburn. But of course they did tie last time they played Besto, the Burners and the Wickers.
Indeed, so the ball goes forward, inside 50 once again. It's been taken over there, short little handball off to Marson. Marson gets rid of it. Little soccer off the ground there by Walger. Sorry, it wasn't Walger, it was Fairbank. And it's gone through for a minor score. So Rowville hang on for the moment. But they have started well in this third term, and they need to. Taking a bit of time to get the ball out. Finally, trainer says we'll kick it out.
Oh, that was dangerous.
Over the top, a dangerous kick to McDonald. Mind you, they've got to take the game on in fairness.
Yes.
Spinning out of a tackle. It was Edwards. Now the ball's on the ground again. Not much chance of it coming out of there, and it's going to be wrapped up.
Ray, do they take those kicks on normally?
Yeah, normally they take those kicks on the hit the target.
Do you think Noel Park are very conscious of it?
I think they are conscious of it.
And so up it goes again. One out of the middle by Rowville. On the ground, trying to pick it up over there was Goikoa. And we'll have another ball up.
The way that's happened a couple of times at Rowville, they've tried to do that from the kick out because it opens up the ground if you can get the ball to centre half back. But the way Noble have covered it, I think they're very much
they've done their homework.
So buys the tap. It's a Martin who gets scragged. The ball goes forward, slaying on the ground. They just feel like if anyone can just come in and grab it, and they do. It's Frawley, I think, over there, and he takes it across the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in. So the margin is 35 points. Rowville have made good inroads to the start of this third quarter.
They have been playing better footy, Bestos. It's thrown in. Lou got the hit out down. Shane Allen sharked it. Shane Allen goals. You can't buy experience.
No, you cannot.
The Bulls get another major. They're 13-9-87. Rowville 7-4-46. They drew that one up on the training ground, didn't they, Brash?
They certainly did. It's just copy play, that one.
How many times over the years, Brash, have you seen Shane Allen do that?
Yeah.
Several.
And we've got an update on Lee Kimpton. He needs one more. He's up to 99 goals as we go to Jared Beedland in the score centre.
All right, we've got a slew of Division 3 scores here. Waverley Blues 11-7-73. 11-7-73 to Donvale, 8-5-53. Scoresby 5-8-38, just losing it against Whitehorse, 8-9-57. Warren Diet slamming Fair Park, 12-10-82 to 4-4-28. And Ferntree Gully holding off Coldstream, 9-6-60 to 3-8-26.
So Kane Young took the intercept mark from yet another Noble Park clearance and got that out wide to Ali Zijai. One of the two Rowville goal kickers in the second quarter that decided to shush the Noble Park crowd despite being down by 6 goals. Outrageous confidence from the Hawks players as they go long, looking towards Mav Taylor. He'll make a contest, but the ball gets out the back for a boundary throw-in.
Ray, do you reckon Ben Wise might take a punt and maybe inject some speed into the midfield, maybe get a rundle up around the ball?
Well, if it gets to three-quarter time and it's just going as it is, you've got to try something out of the box.
Thrown in again. Tapped down by Seedsman was a good one to Zijai, who hooked it around the body. But Tom Glenn, who started the game hot, had front spot. He dropped a mark he probably should have taken. But they'll take another stoppage here, the Bulls. For all of Rowville's good start to this quarter in the opening 10 minutes, I think the quarter's pretty even in the end. I think it's 2 goals apiece. And Paul, how's it looking stats-wise?
Well, Rowville are being efficient. They've been inside 50 only twice, but they've kicked the 2 goals. But still, it's all Noble Park. They've had 6 inside 50.
Well, they're going to go inside 50 again, you would think, as Seedsman's got the free kick. No, sorry, it's Edwards. And he puts it up to the hot spot. Can Colclough have another fly at it? He can. Brought it to ground. Taylor's around that. There's going to be a free kick going the way of Noble Park for over the shoulder. Jai Colclough trying to bring down his second mark of the day. Tua goes short. Back to Ryan Morrison. Back at full-back. Short ball is... Well, I thought it was dangerous off the boot, but I should have never doubted him. Got it to Anthony Marson, go back to Morrison. Then on the opposite boot, look at that. Toying with them now up towards Fairbank. Couldn't take the mark on the second grab. Zijai might have got driven into the back. Umpire said play on, and now the Bulls are away. Horton Milne got the handball to Fairbank. He got the handball to Marson. He got it to Sketcher. Sketcher runs to 40. Sketcher fires a goal. And he's missed.
Gee, they worked that well.
88.
They worked that well out of the back line. They did.
Just a beautiful chain of handballs, and really, Zijai, it could have been either way. If he got a free kick there, that Rowville may have been having a shot at goal, but that was pretty impressive from the Bulls.
Very unlucky there, I thought, Zijai.
So it would have been a great goal, that's for sure, as they bring it back in with Ekov. Goes out towards the wing. May have overcooked it. No, he hasn't. Mark taken over there. Good work. So, Rowville, can they get another one? Every time they get one, though, Noble Park seem to strike back reasonably quickly, so they need to get multiple goals in a row. Byers flies high and takes the mark. He's been terrific, Byers.
He's been excellent, Kieran Byers.
Had a very good game today. He kicked a goal as well, which is good for him. Now he comes and gets the ball sailing down the line. Mark taken, good work. So Sketcher has played a big role in this game as well through the midfield. Now he goes forward inside 50. Up they fly. Mark not taken. Ball on the ground. Little handball out there. It goes to nobody. Good tackle comes in there from Edwards on the ground. Ball comes out. One of the Marston's in there. I think it's Jordan, is it? Benjamin, sorry. Now the kick forward from Noble. Now towards the wing. Going across here and a good spoil coming in from Davey. He's played pretty well today for Rowville, Davey.
Even in a standard marking contest, Rowville are still not holding their feet.
I thought that was well done by Davey because Tua had the box seat to take an intercept mark there, and he forced Tua to spoil because it clearly he's at least forced a stoppage rather than a direct turnover. As we're on centre wing, the Hawks will have to kick, you'd say, the next 2 or 3 before three-quarter time if there's any chance of getting the victory today. But at the moment, Noble looks set to jump back on top of the ladder, and if scores are correct, Baldwin will close the gap on Rowville, who they play in a couple of weeks. As Fairbank wrapped up, holding the ball. Great tackle there from Mitchell Schrook, whose efforts in the second quarter didn't go unnoticed by the commentary team down in defence for the Hawks. He goes out wide to Edwards, who goes inboard. No, sorry, it's Edwards now with the footy. He runs to about 70, pops it up to the hot spot. Brolick was there, but Morrison just got rid of him. Read the footy best. And the that would be a misjustice to Ryan Morrison. But the reliable defender takes the intercept mark and then swings it to centre wing. He's in the Sketcher direction. I think someone heard footsteps coming there in Young, but he did well with his spoil, went back and got it. And they find Eichhoff, who goes into the middle of the ground. Schrook, short ball, got a target about 60 from home. Stapleton could wheel and go here on the left boot, but instead kicks a wobbler inside 450, and Jack Francis got back, took the mark, played on, I don't know why. Tackle from Taylor, bounces up to Matt Davey. His kick is smothered, and then Francis's kick is smothered, but eventually the Bulls will clear through McDonald, who pumps it high to centre wing.
So out it goes towards the far side of the ground. Trying to pick it up over there, one of the Rowville players, and it's gone out of bounds as we get into Will on the boundary.
Yeah, boys, Carl Stainthorpe, he was given a yellow card late in the second quarter. He's just come back on, was stuck on the boundary for a little while the player was on the other side of the ground, but he's now back in action. So
Rowville will get their full complement back, which they certainly need as the ball comes back in. It was Gaines who got the tap. Ball on the ground, whistle's gone.
Holding the ball.
And holding the ball, so free kick goes the way of Rowville.
He's played well all day, Schrook.
Yeah. So he's the long ball forward. Can someone get on the end of it? This is it's a one-on-one contest, but they've still got it. Little handball back inside, but the ball goes loose. That'll be a free kick.
Yeah, hold
absolutely.
The man.
So free kick, it goes to Stapleton, I think it is.
No, Cole-Clow.
Cole-Clow, sorry.
Well, and I reckon he had one touch in the first half, right?
He did.
Guy Cole-Clow, and if he can kick this, it'll be 2 goals in the quarter, and that's what you need from your small forwards. Just 5 or 10 minutes of brilliance.
Yeah, you're right. He was not sided really in the first half.
So he's got a chance to get himself very much back into the game. Cole-Clow, we're right behind this one, so we'll get a good look at it. And he's kicked it. He liked it as soon as he kicked it, so they bring up the half century, Rowville, and they're just hanging around. 13-10-88, plays 8-4-52 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we've had 16 and a half minutes third quarter.
So we've got all the Division 4 scores here. Forest Hill 4-4-28 to Surrey Park 11-8-74. Chirnside Park 5-3-33 to Sylvan 18-8-116. Kilsyth 8-10-58 to Nunawading 2-3-15. And also in that huge North Ringwood match, North Ringwood 8-6-54 to Doncaster 4-9-33. Doncaster hanging in.
And we've got more. I think you've got more from that Chirnside Sylvan game, Jared, if you just keep checking through other parts of your phone as Noel Park get the clearance towards the half-forward flank. And there's going to be a free kick going the way of the Bulls to Bodie Lambert. He's about 45 from home. He wanted to handball to Marson. In the end, he just poked it to the top of the goal square. It should all be the Hawks. And it is. There is that man, Stainthorpe. There must have been a mark. Or was it touched off the boot? It was.
Has to be.
So Stainthorpe back on the ground. We'll have a ball up top of the square. So up once again. Rowville need to make sure that Noble don't just get a goal straight away. Almost did. Jordan Marson got the crumb from the hit out there from Beach, but his left foot ball was narrow. And he'll go through for one behind. 13-11-89, the Bulls. Rowville 8-4-52 as we go to Paul Yukoni in the Stats Centre.
Yeah, so the stats have evened up a little bit in this third quarter as they were in the first, but Rowville's incredible efficiency inside 50 have kept them in this game. They've kicked 3 goals from 6 inside 50s.
Stainthorpe took the mark there from the kick out, a really strong one under pressure, but eventually sold his teammates into trouble with a handball to a stationary target. In the end, Edwards got it off to Cooper McDonald, who got taken high by Jordan Marson. And then McDonald handball off again to a stationary target, and Josh Clark, who popped it up to centre half forward. Davies got the sit, big fly. Ball bounced off his chest, well done by Anthony Marson, handball, but intercepted by Stapleton. Got driven into the ground by Jack Francis and then got pinged for a throw. I think he was going to be given prior opportunity, but now it's a 25. It's a 25 to Jack Francis, who's just taken off. He's got to the centre circles. Now the umpire wants him to come back over his mark. Francis had his eyes on the goals, I reckon. And he's going to get the free kick in the centre circle. He's going to go short to Ryan Morrison. We're going to go to Jared Beelan quickly in the score centre.
Of course, Lee Kimpton has 100 goals in that game. 100 goals in a season. Churnside Park.
A massive. So he's already kicked 6 and there's still plenty of footy left. Big fly from Stanthorpe. Got the spoil. Lou. Handball over the top. Eichhoff. And then McDonald. And they'll take this boundary throw in the end, the Hawks. Ray, they had a period there where they had the free kick and just handballs to blokes flat-footed. You've got to be on the move, surely.
Yeah, well, that's the first thing you learn, isn't it? You never handball to a guy standing still, that's for sure.
So, Rowville still trying to work their way back into this game. They've got a bit of work to do, though, it's fair to say, as the ball goes in. They head out there from number 36, which is Lou, on the ground. So they are missing the big man Lockman in this term. Of course, he went off at half-time with an injury, so they've had to find other methods in the ruck. Ball on the grounds, in dispute, and it might be 2 on the bottom of that. Well, it's one of the Noble Park players anyway, and he's well and truly wrapped up, and we'll have a ball up.
Just need to make sure they don't give away a silly goal here, Rowville. Yeah. They've got to make sure if Noble do kick one, it's from good Noble play.
So Byers it was, he got the head out once again. He's had a terrific day, Byers, but can't get the clearance, and they're wrapped up on the grounds.
Ray, Brolick been playing full forward. Now, do you think he's doing that to stop Ryan Morrison, or is this just something they think can win them the game?
I don't know. Maybe he also could have an injury. I don't know, because you want one of your best men up there.
I would have thought now they've sort of worked their way back in, especially in terms of the way the game's been played, to even terms as we go to Paul in the Stats Centre.
Yeah.
Another credit to Rowville's defence in this third quarter. They've kept Noble Park at this stage of this third quarter to only 9 inside 50s.
He's going to be pinged for holding the ball here. He was looking for the try line, was Alex Frawley. And the free kick goes to Jackson Sketcher. 65 from home. Pops it to the top of the square. Byers is down there. Got 2 Hawks defenders to deal with. Goes after it once again. Lambert came through. Take on the tackle there of Eichhoff. The umpire says, give it to me. I think Blakey Tennant before tried to call us down to the boundary, so we will cross down to him.
Yeah, just a small one. Just Jack Francis just went to the roofs. Just wondering why, but no, he just had to go get his Gatorade. So
go get his Gatorade. Yeah. Didn't like the water on the bench, so the handball chain works out to Ryan Hall for Rowville. Pokes one over the top, looking for a target in Wood, who marks and plays on, and they've got a bit of space here. Lockie Stapleton's got it for Rowville. Little short ball to Cole Clow. He pops it over the top. Kane Young will have to sit underneath this one. Came across. McDonald did really well. Lachlan McDonald got the spoil on that one. And we're going to have a boundary throw it inside forward 50 for the Hawks.
Just a little bit too much air time on that last kick, Brash.
He could have taken a bit more time, Cole Clow. I know what he was thinking, though, and he has been very impressive this quarter. If they can get another one here, the Hawks, the Bulls will start being a little bit worried as it's thrown in. Seedsman, front spot. Byers hit out down. Lachlan McDonald came through. Don't know how he disposed of that. Arundel missed the footy. Quaife will go back in. Free kick. Holding the man going the way of Lachlan McDonald.
Don't be doing anything stupid now.
And he's going to go back 30 metres out, pretty much directly in front, to kick another goal for the Hawks and bring it back to 31 points here at the Bull Ring.
Don't hold your breath, boys. He's not the best kick for goal.
Well, thanks, Ray. We're trying to build it up here.
I'm being honest.
Mr. Pessimism in the corner. So Lockie McDonald, he's already kicked one today. 30 metres out. Didn't look it off the boot, but I reckon he's got it there, Ray. The Hawks get their 9th. They are 9-4-58. Noble 13-11-89, 31 points to margin, 22.5 minutes gone, third quarter. As we go to Jared Beanland in the score centre.
Some Division 2 scores here, some big scores as well. The Basin 16-7, 103 to Templestowe 6-8, 44. Mulgrave doing what they need to do and accurately 17-3, 105 to Oakley District 3-1, 19. And of course you've got Baronia 7-9, 51, just getting edged out by South Belgrave 9-11, 65.
Tell you what, if the Basin were racehorses, you'd want them swabbed, wouldn't you?
Oh, I tell you what, you can't read them.
So I was just going to say before, Ray Baird with the reverse moz there, which worked out well for Rowville.
Reverse psychology, mate.
As they pull one back, 31 points, still not beyond them. They're just hanging around somehow. There's the kick inside 50. Mark not taken, ball goes to ground. Scragg, that might be a free kick. It might go the way of Stapleton. Let's wait and see which way it is going.
No, Noble Park.
No, Noble Park. I thought Stapleton might have been taken high there. He got sort of scragged around the neck, but it has gone to Noble Park. So taking a bit of a while to get rid of it. Morrison sends a long kick up to about half, up towards the centre wing. Ball knocked down there into the arms of Bull. Now it's going to go forward. Chasing back there was Jordan Marson, but he went without it. Now it's in the hands of McDonald. Here's a chance for Rowville to come forward. The kick to around about half forward. Plenty of Noble Park defenders though, but it's going to fall for them. Zijai, can he stay in? He's very close to boundary, and in the end it goes across the boundary line. A good commitment there. I think that was Wood who got on the bottom of it. In fact, it wasn't Wood, it was Zijai himself. And we'll have a throw in around about the half forward line. So an important clearance coming up for Rowville. We've had 24 minutes gone in this term. Here's the throw in. Up it goes. Knocked down there to Frawley. Now they go forward inside 50 to full forward. Can they get a mark? Almost a mark taken there. It was Brolick who tried to get hands on it. It was knocked out of his arms, but it's still there. Contesting on the ground. Ball comes out. Going to probably have a ball up, I'd say, in the end. And that's what the umpire decides.
Big stoppage coming up here, Ray. Pinch another goal here, and they've got all the momentum.
Yep.
So absolutely crucial. They'd better get on with it, though. Don't want to get beaten by the siren as the umpire throws it up. Comes over the top as, I think it was Byers there for Noble. But the umpire says, no, not going to come out of there. So we're still roughly in the same position. Stapleton last man up for Rowville. Up it goes again. Again, Noble Park win the hit out. It's Tour, I think.
We're in the game here, Besto.
It's coming up on the balcony, but that's gone out on the full. So that'll be a free kick to Rowville. So this will be an opportunity.
Tyler Edwards.
Tyler Edwards it is. He sends it. It's a funny old kick.
Might work.
Might work out. Oh, mark taken.
Seedsman.
What a great mark by Seedsman. It was a terrible kick. It was wobbling around everywhere, and Seedsman's taken the mark.
Jared Beanland, score centre.
The word annihilation comes to mind with East Ringwood and Upper Ferntree Gully at 27-11, 173 to 3 behinds. And Mitcham 14-5, 89 to Beaconsfield 6-3, 39.
So thank you, Jared. So Seedsman.
Gee, that is a massive score.
He's gone back a long way, Seedsman, but he's had a fair game today. He spent a bit of time in the ruck, particularly since, of course, the big man Lockman went out of the game. He probably finished up kicking from about 45 metres. There's the kick. He's hit it pretty well. He's hit it very well. That's a goal. Seedsman puts it through, and they just keep coming, this Rowville side. They won't go away. That's his second of the day. And Rowville, well, they're chipping away. They've got it back to a 25-point game. 13-11, 89, 10-4, 64. And we're 26 minutes gone in this third term.
Brash, this is something you predicted at half-time, wasn't you? You said Rowville will get a period there where they'll kick 3 or so on end.
5 goals to 2 in this quarter for Rowville.
We go boundary side.
Yeah, just over 5. Next goal is really crucial. Like, you can definitely tell the momentum is 100% coming to Rowville at the moment. Can Rowville get the next goal, then put the the brick back on their terms? So it's going to be interesting, this clearance.
They need a clearance, though. They haven't been able to get one all day. They might get a free kick. They do. And Frawley, the ex-skipper, plays on, takes a bounce, drives it long inside forward 50. Mav Taylor's the target. Ball hits the deck. Anthony Marson, little tap to Gaines, little tap to Tommy Glenn, and he clears the lines. But it should be all the Hawks here. Ryan Hall should mark this. Got across under pressure from Bull. Might have been taken high. Umpire says, give it to me. 27 minutes gone. Third term. And the straight kicking efficient Hawks have edged their way back into this one, Paul.
Yeah, well, they've evened up the clearances and they've had 11 inside 50s for 5 goals, and they've taken 3 marks inside 50. They've been very good in
McDonald gets another clearance down the line. Mav Taylor does well. Knocked Woolger out of the front spot. Goika Tried to get the handball over top, and now the little punch forward will sit for Nashwood, will it? He does well. Handball off to Mav Taylor. Runs to 30. Shot at goal. Is there. Another one for the Hawks. 11-4-70. They've closed the gap to 19 points. Noble 13-11-89, 27 and a half minutes gone in this third quarter.
He hasn't had the game on his terms this afternoon, Taylor, but he's made a contest at every time he's gone near the ball. I think that's just reward for his efforts this afternoon.
You couldn't pick a good player for them in the first half, but he was serviceable, wasn't he, even in that first half?
So Nostradamus Brasher predicted that Rowville would come at some stage, and they have done. And the throws of three-quarter time, they've got it back to a 19-point game. And I tell you what, if they get the next one, it's going to be interesting. But they won't get it for the moment because the three-quarter time siren has gone. And what a comeback by Rowville on that term. Three-quarter time score 13-11-89, leading Noble Park leading 13-11-89 to 11-4-70. Here's Matt Fody with the goal kickers.
Yeah, goal kickers. So for the Bulls, there's a single to Jordan Marson and Chris Horton-Mill, as well as Kyle Martin. 2 goals to Kieran Byers. A single to Lachlan McDonald, 3 to Benjamin Marson, 2 to Shane Allen, and then singles to Jack Beach and Joshua Stern. Whilst for Rowville, Jai Clow kicked 2 in that quarter. Ali Zijai has 1, as well as Nashua Wood, Matthew Davey, Maverick Taylor, Jake Arundel. Well, there's 2 apiece to Lachlan McDonald and Mark Seasman. We'll go to a break. When we come back, the last quarter from the Bull Ring, where Noel Park, as best I said, lead by 19 points over the Rowville Hawks.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Running and jumping can be really painful for girls, especially in contact sport. Boob armour supports your breasts, minimises the bounce and guards against impact and injury. Feel confident, feel supported, available at boobarmour.com.au.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think I'd like to be celebrated with lots of music, dancing, a bit of a party.
I'd like to be celebrated at the pub with a few frothies.
Maybe some colourful balloons, my favourite flowers. How about some glitter?
I'd like to be celebrated in space.
Outdoors, having all my family and friends together.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time or show time to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Pat Wright Senior Oval, where it's been a pretty interesting third term, and they've really come back with a vengeance. Rowville, they've stormed their way back into this game. 19 points down as we go into the score setter just ahead of the restart.
Yep, so we had a couple of close ones in Division 3 that have broken wide open. Waverley Blues are now 17-8, 110 to Donvale at 9-6, 60. Whitehorse could look like they are going to get their first win away from home for the season. They are 12-9, 81 to Scoresby, 5-9, 39. Warrandyte thumping Fair Park 17-15, 117 to 4 28. And then you've got Ferntree Gully 10-3, 63 to Coldstream 5-7, 37. Moving into Division 1, the Trows, inaccurate, but still beating Bayswater 10-17, 77 to 7-4, 46. We've got Mooralbark in a close one over Croydon at the moment, 6-8, 44 to 5-6, 36. Mitcham really pulling away from 15-5, from Beaconsfield 15-5, 95 to 9-4, 58. And I think we've got Blake Tennant down on the boundary line.
Yeah, just to clarify what happened, he just stormed off straight away. But just what he heard, he wasn't happy with how the mids were structured. He said that they were just 90 metres away from the contest, which is really poor. And they said that games are definitely not won at half-time. They thought they had the game done and dusted, but it obviously wasn't. So this could be a very interesting game. The crowd is up and about, that's for sure.
Thanks, Blakey Tennant. It's a big last quarter. Noel Park and Rowville. At the moment, the Bulls are on top of the live ladder, but the way the Hawks played that quarter where they kicked 6 goals to 2, anything can happen, Brett Beston.
So, out of the middle for the start of this term. Nicely won there by Edwards. He got the handball off. He's still got it, Edwards. Now he gets it out wide. Little kick forward there by Stainthorpe. Out towards the boundary, but he's overcooked it. And it's going to go out. So what price the first goal of this last term is the kick back to Sketcher. Noble Park, no, just happy just to control the play for a while. Just try and take the sting out of the game. Kick inside Martin. Cole Martin wheels onto the right foot, goes long towards the full forward line. The half forward line. Nicely done there by Lou. He's been okay for Rowville today. Little kick out wide, little handball back inside Lou again, but he's been absolutely smashed. Hospital pass, and he's going to get a free kick. It was high.
I think Ben Wise has moved him to full back to play on the resting ruckman there, Ray, and get him involved in the game.
Yeah.
So a little kick inside, and here they come off half-back Rowville. Down the line they go.
Downfield, I think.
There's a downfield free kick. It was Coldclough that took the ball, but the whistle went before that. What's he played, the umpire? No, he just said it play on, so Josh Clark, just taking a bit of time to get rid of it. Wheels onto his left, goes long into the pocket. Plenty of Noble Park defenders back there. Morrison it was who knocked the ball out as we go boundary with Will Faulkner.
Boys, was at the Rowville huddle at three-quarter time was the most extraordinary display of confidence. They were well and truly up and about. They're expecting Noble Park to go on the complete defence this quarter. They're saying 6 of their structures and they'll go well.
Throw in, half-forward flank for the Hawks. Beach won the hit out down, but the handball finds its way to Ali Zijai. Took on the tackler, might be pinged. Damien Sully said no. Give it to me. So we'll have a ball up about 55 from the Rowville goal. The Hawks do this, they'll pretty much lock in the minor premiership with Berwick to come next week. Beach won the hit out down straight to Martin, who just went for territory with a tumble punt. And then Jack Francis just delicately tapped it over the line for a boundary throw-in. Centre wing as we go to Paul Yaconi in the Stats Centre.
Well, it's unbelievable, the fighting resistance from Rowville, given on these stats. They're leading in none of the stats, but the efficiency inside 50 and going forward is got them back in this game.
Free kick going the way of the Hawks here for a block in the ruck. Mark Seedsman kicked 2 goals today, plays on immediately. What are his options inside forward 50? He just blasts it long in the Mav Taylor direction, but there's a mark. It's been paid. Not entirely sure who that's going to. It's another one with a leg tatter. It might be Kane Young, who's floated forward. I think that's a magnet that's been moved, Ray. He's usually in defence.
Yeah.
Kane Young, so clearly him and Tyrese Liu have been swung around to get them involved in the game, and Young's taken a great mark. 35 metres out.
Crucial kick here.
Slight angle kick this one. The Hawks have kicked 7 of the last 9. In comes Young. Looks pretty good off the boot. Never looked like missing. Hawks close the gap even further. 12-4, 76. Noble Park 13-11, 89. We've gone 3 minutes in the last quarter, Ray Baird.
Just going back to those comments coming from the Rowville huddle at three-quarter time, exactly what I was thinking. Rowville have the ability to finish games off this season, and if they can just get a sniff, which they have now, they're going to be hard to stop, Brett.
Oh, absolutely. Momentum's a big thing in footy, isn't it?
We go to Jared Beelan in the score centre.
Some more Premier Division scores here. Norwood thumping Park Orchards 13-12, 90-47, 31. We've also got scores from the Vermont-South Croydon game. South Croydon 74, Vermont 38. And Blackburn are really letting it slip against Berwick. 5-8-38, Blackburn 3-4, 22.
So Rowville come off halfback again with Stainthorpe out wide. Taken nicely over there by McDonald. They've just got so much belief. You can see it on the right side. And out to Young. Young puts it onto the right beat. Little chip into the pocket. Is that a push? No, the ball comes loose. I thought it might have been a free kick. Coldclough goes in and makes the tackle. You can see they're just absolutely winning everything. And that might be a free kick as Clark gets scragged out of the way.
No, throw it in.
No, the umpire said throw it in.
They are, but you're right, though. Their energy is absolutely up.
It's lifted, hasn't it, in this last quarter?
The roles have been reversed here.
Yeah.
Noble Park are being the hunted here now by Rowville.
Well, incredible belief, and just to get themselves back into this game, to be honest, it's been really impressive to watch. As the ball comes out, it's Sketcher. Sketcher goes right across the face of goals. Can he find a target over there? There's nobody in particular. Bouncing out towards the far side. Now the little kick from Fairbanks gets it out towards the... We might go out of bounds. No, it stays in over there, but it's going to fall for Rowville. Oh, that's a high tackle.
No.
Nowhere near.
He had the ball. We went grabbed the ball.
Had the ball, and it was around about his pec anyway.
Okay.
A bit of words from McDonald and Stern, though. So going to throw it in right in front of us here in the broadcast position. Incredible comeback this from Rowville. They were dead and buried really at half-time. I thought we were just trying to keep the fans interested in this game, but all of a sudden they have surged, as Ray predicted. Stapleton does really well, kept it in play, got the handball over the top to Edwards. Edwards drives it to the half-forward flank. Mav Taylor does well, worked his opponent and gains under it. Coldclough's there, might lay a block for Davey. Davey shrugged the tackle, got his handball away just in time. It'll come back to him. Ducked his head there. Umpire says play on. He played for the high there, Matt Davey, and a good tackle from Jake Gaines means a stoppage inside Rowville forward 50. Blake Tennant, boundary side.
Yeah, the lights are definitely come on right now. It's a bit cloudy and overcast, so the lights are officially on.
Thank you, Blakey. Stapleton got a little kick, but it's smothered by Josh Tua. Out of bounds.
Did I hear,
for a boundary throw-in.
Jared, did I hear that Berwick were in front of Blackburn? Was that correct?
Berwick are in front of Blackburn.
Well, there you go.
Oh.
That'll dampen North Ringwood hearts, because it might mean their late season surge is in vain as it's thrown in inside the Rowville forward 50. Get another one here and you might put them right in the box seat. Clearance from Horton Milne, who was quiet in that third quarter. Little slap from Stearns, beautiful to Fairbank, who hit it at some speed. He goes out wide with a kick for this flat-footed Quaife, and then that come off the boot of the boundary umpire, but who first? It's going to be a throw-in, I think.
No,
I think, no, it is.
No, free kick.
No, it's a throw-in. Quaife's trying to claim it. I thought it actually came off his boot. So the umpires have decided indecision means we will ball it in. So things are starting to fall Rowville's way here. Crowd on edge. Thrown in. Seedsman got to the front of that contest, got the hit out down, and then Sketcher. Luke Bull tried to take the tackle and did, and we'll have another ball up. Jared Beelan in the score centre.
And just on that North Ringwood score, they are up at the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter, 9-9-63 to Doncaster for 12-36.
Thank you, Jared. 6.5 minutes played in this last term. 13 points the margin as Noble Park get it back inside. Trying to work it out of the defensive area. That's not a good kick, though, and Hall takes the mark. So Hall sends it forward. Can someone get on the end of it? There's plenty of Rowville players back there, but as there are defenders, Quaife it was. He tried to grab it. He couldn't get it. Now it's on the ground. Free kick it's going to be, and it's going the way of Noble Park. So it's Gorkoa, gets it out to the back pocket, or a little kick out into the back pocket, so they'll just slow it down again, Noble Park. Little chip out there, Morrison, little short one, up the line. Just happy just to keep possession, as I said. Funny little kick along the ground there. It was nicely picked up by Marson, who gets it off. Now they'll go inside 50. Where's the target? Long kick forward, not quite inside 50, but the ball on the ground. Now it's come falling for Rowville. And they'll rebound again, Rowville. They go right across the other side of the ground. Nice mark taken by Edwards. Tyler Edwards gives it off. Now the kick down the line, and it's marked as well.
Keep moving the ball.
Now it's Stapleton, goes long. Can he hit a target? It's a one-on-one with Morrison, but see Morrison just working his way to the front spot, all the experience, and he takes the mark.
So Ryan Morrison in that Stephen May-like role down there. Brolick looks as if he's just playing actually to make Morrison at least have to contest the footy there.
He looks out of sorts, Brolick, I reckon.
He doesn't. Yeah. He looks. I wonder where he's carrying injury or not.
That's what I'm saying. He looks like he's playing sore.
Lachlan McDonald kicked the ball down the line, and now the Bulls go even further down the line, and Jack Beach has floated forward on his own, taking a mark 70 from goal, pokes it over the top. Josh Stearns got the sit, takes a strong mark. And he's going to go back. He's told everyone to calm down. And Josh Stern, who kicked goal of the day in the first quarter over near the cricket covers, hooked it across his body from 45. Will go back and line up from 38 to 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle to just steady the Bulls down. He'll push them back out to a 19-point lead here, which still in this grand scheme of things is a comfortable one. Stern trots in, keeps it low.
Goal.
Straight into the post.
Straight into the post.
Thudded into the woodwork here at Pat Wright Senior Oval.
1 goal, 3 for him today, Matt.
13-12-90. Joshua Stern been active but not accurate. Rowville 12-4-76. And the Hawks play on immediately. Dangerous kick, but it's going to work out. Trainer dropped it, but Tyler Edwards, who's improved in this second half, was there on hands and knees. Little smother from Trainer means that there won't be a mark paid. Francis went back with the flight. And then Eichhoff takes the tackle of the big man there, Kieran Byers.
They needed to take possession there, Rowville, of that
just slipped through Trainer's hands. It looked like he didn't think he was going to get a chance to mark it, but nonetheless, Lou won the hit out straight to Lockie McDonald, pumps it long down the line. What can they do here? Bring it to ground. One done by Kane Young. Anthony Marson went back, got tackled, might be holding the ball. It is. Incorrect disposal. Free kick going the way of Mark Seedsman. Crowd aren't happy with it, but it was definitely there. And the Hawks have a chance to drive this one inside 50 again. Brolick's just trying to take Morrison away from the footy. Seedsman needs to make sure he doesn't kick it there. In the end, that's where they go. Brolick and Morrison down there, both playing for free kicks. Ball hit the deck. Kane Young's around it, slapped away by Lambert. Only as far there as Edwards, who spun away from the tackle. Little left foot ball to the top of the square. It's all the Hawks. Morrison's ball fell in the hands of Brolick. Handball to Mav Taylor. Right foot snap is a goal. Hawks get another one, 13-4-82. Noble Park 13-12-90. We've got 10 minutes here in the last quarter and it's back to 8 points, Raybed.
And credit goes to Anthony Brolick there. When that ball hit the ground, he just kept he didn't get knocked off his feet. He just hand passed it out and that did not, cool as a cucumber, Brash.
Yeah, definitely.
So Noble Park in danger of getting run all over the top of here because the momentum is just, they are like a runaway freight train.
Well, what is it since half-time? 8 goals to 2.
Yeah. Let's go to Jared in the score centre.
So we've got a couple of Division 2 scores. South Belgrave 78, Baronia 57 currently, and Heathmont 7-8-50 going down to East Burwood 11-11-77.
And an update, Baldwin, Doncaster East, there'll be no more scores. The game's been cancelled, unfortunately, due to a serious injury. So I assume, but it did reach half-time, so whoever's in front should be crowned winners.
So in the hands of Shoke, he shrugs off a defender. It's an unfortunate occurrence out at Baldwin as the ball comes down, falls for Taylor. Taylor snaps and he's put it through! Taylor has kicked a goal and they're within a kick.
He's kicked 3 as well.
Unbelievable scenes out here at Pat Wright Senior Oval. The margin is just 2 points. 90 plays 88 and we've had 11 and a half minutes in this last term.
You almost feel here that if Rowville get in front, they might actually end up winning the game.
Andrew.
Let's go boundary side with Blake.
Yeah, definitely. I talked about it a lot during footy, that's for sure. Momentum is key, and it is coming towards Rowville. As you can see, this is massive. This clearance, I'll tell you what, this is massive, this clearance right here.
Thank you, that. Blake Tennant down there on the boundary. There's still, everyone needs to come down. It's still only 12 minutes gone in the last quarter. There is plenty of time left. Jack Beach got the hit out straight into the hands there of Horton Milne. His handball ended up back with Beach. And now Bull runs to 70, puts it down the throat of Byers. Got rid of his man, couldn't take the mark. And then Stainthorpe lies on top of the footy. Umpire circling. And we're going to have a ball up.
This is what we come down here for this afternoon. 1v2. This is the contest we wanted to see, and we've got it.
Tell you what, Brash, at about 8 goals the difference, I was a bit annoyed, but Lou hit out down. He's doing well, Lou. Schrook, Edwards, Zijai against his old side, goes down the line. Mav Taylor, the man of the moment, works Woolger under the footy. Ball hit the deck. Woolger did well, but Taylor wrapped him up. He's been everywhere, Mav Taylor, since about 10 minutes into the third quarter. And all of a sudden, 2-point ball game. The way Rowville are playing, they might win this by 6 goals. McDonald, Zijai almost missed the foot with the ball drop, but hooked it inside 450. There's our man again, Besto. Taylor, Maverick Taylor takes the mark. He's about 40 odd from home now, right in front of the crowd. I'll tell you what, if you kick this one, I'll give him, he can shush the crowd. He goes short to Zijai. He sows some candy, runs to 40, sets sail for home. It's across the face. Morrison keeps it in. Coldclough is there. And we will have a boundary throw in deep in the Rowville forward pocket. They trail by 2 points. 14 minutes gone in this last quarter. Jared Beanland quickly in the score centre.
I can give you those scores from that unfortunately cancelled game. Baldwin will have won that 10-8-68 to Doncaster East 7-3-45.
Okay, again, unfortunate whatever injury happens there. Noble do get the clearance. Eventually Beach got the handball to Luke Ball and he kicks it up the wing. Big moment here for Ben Marston. Stanthorpe back on the ground after that yellow card. Spoiled it forward. Mitch Schrook shrugged the tackle. Low ball inside forward 50. Young was there. Brolick and Morrison as well as Mav Taylor. And the go line for a boundary throw. North Ringwood are going to win convincingly. They're up 81-36.
Ben Wise has probably made the master move there because Shook was playing loose man off the half-back. He's put him in the midfield and he's absolutely caned it in the second half.
Throw in again. Tapped down by Seedsman. Bulls will get a clearance this time through Horton Milne, but it should be all the Hawks. Good mark taken by Cooper McDonald.
This guy's got something, I reckon.
He's been good. Allen almost went off the mark there. Got lucky. McDonald high up and under to centre half forward. Who's underneath this footy? Big fly. Big mark. Kane Young. The swing man has gone forward and clunked another one, and he'll kick from almost an identical position from 10 minutes earlier, Kane Young. If anything, it's a better spot, and this kick is to put the Hawks in front. They were down by how many at halftime, Brash? 39 points.
39.
Plenty.
Yes,
and I think they kicked the last one of that quarter.
Yep.
Kane Young.
Tony Galenti's mate, plenty.
To kick his second goal of the quarter from 40 metres out, slide angle, kick off the boot. He's there, Hawks are in front.
Can you believe this?
Rowville are in front. They've kicked 10 goals to 2 after half-time. Rowville to hit the front. 15 minutes gone in the last quarter. 15-4-94. Noble Park 13-12-90. I tell you what, we watched a great game of AFL last night, Besto. This game is mirroring it.
Brash, you said, can you believe this? During the third quarter, no, I would not believe it. But as I said at three-quarter time, Rowville have been finishing games off every week, and that's what's happened. They haven't won it yet, but they finished the game off.
Going to go down to Will Faulkner on the boundary.
Boys, I just wanted to highlight the effort of Tyrese Liu a few minutes earlier. That almost looked like a certain goal had he had his opponent, Kyron Byers, marked that earlier, and it's resulted in a goal for Rowville. Yeah, worked his way into the game really nicely.
Let's go to Paul on the stats centre.
Well, Rowville have had 10 inside 50s to 5 in this last quarter, and since half-time they've kicked 10 straight to 2-5.
Extraordinary scenes out here at Pat Wright Reserve as Wood gets it a funny little kick inside and it's going to be marked. So what can they do, Noble Park? Have they got a response? They had this game won. Maybe they thought they had the game won. Maybe that's the problem because Rowville have come back. There's Davey. He's been terrific in this last quarter.
What can Noble do, Ray and Brash, to get something going here? They haven't looked like it.
Well, they've got to get Martin and Sketcher back into the game because they haven't been sided in the last quarter and a half.
So in it goes. Here's the hit out. Ball on the grounds. Falls for Noble Park. Funny yellow kick out towards the boundary. And it'll go out. So round about centre wing.
But I reckon, like I said just a minute ago, it's been that hard running of Schrook in the midfield, Ray. He's really put the pressure on him.
And he was good, Brash, when they were poor. He was one of the players that's been there for 4 quarters.
So in it goes again. Who's going to get the front spot? That time it was Beach. Knocks it down. Ball comes out. Noble Park here. They come inside 50. Can they get a mark? Ball goes over the top. There's tons of defenders there. Sketcher almost. Now Byers.
Here we go.
Here's a chance. Handball out to them. Oh, I think it's going to Sketcher's taken in a good tackle. And the ball spills clear. And it's Arundel who will bring it away. Not out of danger yet, though. Cries of holding the ball. The crowd have just gone off. Hooks back and
Are you kidding me? I think that's Luke Ball.
Luke Ball has just... That's the goal of the day. It might even be the goal of the year.
Oh, my
He's just
gosh.
put it on the boundary. And a huge banana. What a goal. Luke Ball has put Noble Park back in front, 96-94. And with 17 minutes...
That's a Gav Casey moment, Ray Bear.
Unbelievable goal.
It would have been a Gav Casey moment, I reckon.
Yeah.
That's an incredible goal.
That is incredible.
That's just a goal with instinct. He didn't even look. He just knew where the goal was and put it to his boot.
And I reckon Jake Arundel will, in hindsight, have just kicked it as far as he could rather than going the short ball. But they are sticking their processes. So Noble, as Besto said, back in front, but Rowville have got all the run. Hit out from Byers, down into the path here of Lachlan McDonald. Great tackle from Schrook. Francis, though, gathers it. Spinning out of trouble was Trainer. Cooper McDonald, handball to Stanthorpe. Couldn't pick it up. Fairbank doesn't have the footy. Umpire says play on. Tyrese Liu, the sweeper. Hands and knees. wobbled a little bit, and we should have a stoppage here from the Luke Bull pocket.
It's almost like there's everything on every single possession now.
We're not even in time on yet.
I know.
We've already had 6 goals this quarter. Beach, Edwards got that clearance high up and under the halfback for the Hawks. Byers is underneath it. Big fly from Seedsman. Impeded him enough. Joshua Clark, good bit of toe, hooks it into the corridor. Dangerous kick, but it might work out. Well done by Colclough. Got a fist to it, but the Bulls have the numbers. Marson overran it. Getting back there was Lambert. Great throw there from Trainer. Nashwood came through. Matt Davey missed the footy. Clark went back and got it. Handball out wide to Frawley. Trainer flicked it over the top. Wood coming through. Big hit! Big hit from Marson. Ball still in play down the wing. And then Luke Bull, who kicked that miracle goal before, takes that one for a boundary throw in. You could hear the thud back in Ringwood, Ray, from that big hit.
Boy, we are witnessing finals football early.
This is extraordinary.
This is finals football.
Well, I tell you what, this game is befitting of a grand final now.
Nashwood straight to the boundary line after that big hit.
And it goes, worked away to the front spot. Nice hit out there from the big man Seedsman. He's been good since he lost his fellow big man and partner in crime as the kick goes down towards the halfback line.
Oh, well
Up
done.
they fly. That's holding the ball. No, it's holding the ball.
Incorrect disposal, Damien Sully.
Incorrect disposal, so free kick to Allen. Noble Park, they can come forward again. They go inside 50. That's a brilliant mark. Super mark back there, so nicely, safely done. Little chip out wide, taken by Stapleton. They need to be sure by foot, Rowville, as they go down the line. That's gone loose at the moment, but it's going to be seen over the boundary.
Tell you what, a couple of timely possessions there by Lou.
It sounds like about 100 more people have rolled through the gates of the crowd as we go to Jared in the score centre.
I'm doing my best not to be distracted from the scores by this excellent game, but Lilydale are up against Wantona South.
They've got the wood over them, Brash.
9-12, 66 to 6-4, 40.
So kick down the line from Noble Park. Sketcher looks like he's been moved forward, played for a free kick. Shane Allen's there. Gets a little bit of help from his fans over the boundary line, and we'll have another throw in. Go down to the boundary with Blake Tennant.
Mate, I'll tell you what, the club Noble is going off right now. I reckon everyone that's inside is outside right now as we speak.
So thrown in. They wouldn't be inside if they're outside though, will they? Kyle Martin got the handball back. Coming through there was Goika. Got his handball. Byers off the ground, the big fella. Inside, Marson hooks around, right foot ball. Went very high, top of the square. Will a mark be paid? Lou hit the deck. Handball from Stanthorpe to Stapleton. Panicked a little bit, then slapped it on the boot. Martin marks. 60 from home. We've ticked into time on. 21 minutes gone. Bulls by 2 points. Rowville have kicked 10 goals to 3 after half time. Martin will pop it up to the top of the goal square. Big Jackie Beach is running at the footy. The flies come from everywhere. Shane Allen missed it. Hall, handball to Edwards. It was a dodgy one. Edwards, hooked it back over the top to McDonald. Went without it. Slapping in there was Beach and Eichhoff. And we'll have a ball up 40 metres out from the Bulls' goal.
And this is not a game where next score wins either, does it?
That's right.
Next goal's worth 2.
This quarter could go for a long time. Beach hit out down. Edwards, good tackle from Martin, the 2 number 8s. Going at it here.
I've got to say, this is probably, for me, this has been the best tackling exhibition by 2 sides I've seen in many a long time.
Lou does well with his leap, but Kyle Martin got it, just blindly put it inside forward 50, top of the square. Beach is down there, and Francis, and it's knocked over the line for a rush behind. 14-13, 97 Noble Park. Rowville 15-4, 94 as we go to the score centre with Jared Beanland.
Division 3 scores. Waverley Blues running out winners against Don Vale. Not sure if these are final scores, but 124 to 64.
That's a final.
That should be, yep. White Horse Pioneers have gone 101 to 51 against Scoresby as well.
That'll be a final.
So Fair Park's still alive, Besto, but we don't care because it's all about the Bulls and the Hawks.
That's right, ball goes over the top. Tua goes back and tries to get his hands on it, but it's seen out of bounds over there on the far side. And so we've had 22 minutes gone, so there's heaps of time left in this game.
Yeah, I reckon 28 to 29 minutes this quarter I'll go.
So Noble Park, they're only in front by 3 points. So you think the next goal won't be necessarily the deciding one, and it goes. Byers gets his foot to the ball, kicks it forward, but nicely intercepted. Sketcher tries to pick it up. Now it's Tua on the ground. It's all a bit messy. Good work there by Francis. And we can have a ball up. I think that's well and truly tied up in there.
I think Sketcher's been moved forward to just give them a bit of class in the forward 50.
Yeah.
Because the Hawks were walking it out of there during that run.
So Steve Hughes had to do something because his side has been overrun in the second term. Byers out of the ruck. Now it's Bull who kicked that miraculous goal. He went without. That'll be holding the ball.
It's on the ball.
His only excuse there will be that no one stuck the tackle, Besto.
Seedsman it was who was screaming. He finished up getting the possession of the footy, but the umpire said benefit of the doubt. Up it goes. Bit of sun poking through as the ball goes down. Byers got the hit out. Marson back to Byers. In fact, that's Martin, I think. Martin gets the kick inside 50. Can they get on the end of it? No, it's been well cut off. Brilliant work there by Lou. He's been really good.
And there's going to be 25, Besto.
And 25-metre penalty as well.
That's been a good move, putting Lou back there as well.
It's just simplified the game for him. As a young fella playing centre-half forward or in the ruck, you feel like you've got to do everything.
He's done 3 or 4 real important things in this last quarter.
And he's given the handball off to your man, Schrock, who's just with the backhand, a bit of Mark Waugh about that, Brash.
Back we come.
Flicked it back to Tyrese Lou.
So Lou with a footy.
Just got to be poised here.
Good kick.
The kick out wide, should find a target, and it does. Nice mark taken over there by Edwards. Edwards wheels around, goes down the line. This is good.
The centre, yes.
That's Zijai. Zijai goes in for McDonald. McDonald puts the kick inside. Can he hit a target? There's plenty of Noble defenders back there, and it falls for them. And they'll get a rebound off half-back. Noble out they come. Little handball inside. It's Gorkoa. Gets the kick in the middle of the ground. It's a bit of a dodgy one, but it finds its target. Hands it off quickly. There's plenty of hands going up for the ball. As the kick goes inside 50, can they hit a target? I don't think so. Good mark.
Done. What a good mark that was.
So,
McDonald took the intercept mark with the Dermot Burton haircut, got it down to Matt Davey. Handball to Frawley, won his right boot. Handball back to Davey, who kept running. Davies kick, what a smother! What a smother by Marson. Handball from Stapleton. Eichhoff got numbers on the far side, uses them. I think that's Jake Arundel, or is it ZJ? It's ZJ. Walks up back on the left foot. Low ball inside, 450 mark! McDonald! Ray Baird says he's a dodgy shot at goal. And he's going to go back. 45-degree angle, 30 metres out. Lachlan McDonald for his 3rd of the day to put the Hawks back in front. 25 minutes gone. I know you guys think there's more goals in this one, but I reckon this might be enough. Lachlan McDonald. We're right behind this one, Besto. Ray Baird says he's dodgy. He comes in. Beautiful run up. Beautiful kick. Hawks back in front.
Unbelievable game.
16-4-100. Rowville, Noble Park, 14-13-97. 25 and a bit minutes gone here in the last quarter. I don't know how much longer's left, but Lachlan McDonald's kicked 3 goals to go with the shitload of the ball, Ray Baird. He's had a great day.
He's had a great day. And look, that's right. You can call him right sometimes.
Reverse psychology from Ray Baird, working beautifully.
Right, I'll take credit.
5 goals to 1 once again for Rowville in this quarter. Once again, they've notched up 100 points for the 7th time this season.
Jared Beelan, score centre.
Final scores from Quambia Reserve. North Ringwood have won at 12-9-87. Doncaster 6-15-51. That's their second win of the year.
Berwick score.
And the Berwick score currently, they're up 5-8-38 to Blackburn 4-5-29.
So Noble Park have won the possession of the football. It's in the hands over there of Fairbank. He's been taking it. His own teammate took it off him, I think. What's the umpire going to pay here?
That was a great spoil by the Rowville player not to give away the free kick.
So up it goes. Up they fly by. Hooks it back. Martin couldn't get it on the ground. And it's still on the ground. Rowville get it out of there, but it's not clear yet. In the hands there of Traynor, I think it was. Now they go forward. Tell you what, if they get the next goal, Rowville, it'll be interesting. Byers taken to the ground. That'll be
high.
High tackle. I thought
got to go quickly. There can't be long left.
So they've got to get on with this. Noble Park. Quick handball off. There's the kick forward inside 50. Out towards the wing, actually. Over there.
Free kick, Stern.
Free kick, Stern. So Stern, he's got to go quickly. Can't muck around here. There can't be long to go.
It's all over. Where's the ball?
It's all over. The crowd have invaded the field, but the siren is gone and Rowville have won.
That is an unbelievable comeback.
Just as Noble Park looked like they were going to get an inside 50, well, they get an inside 50, potentially winning the game. And they've come from everywhere. Look at the Rowville faithful. They have stormed onto the ground. And one of the games of the season has gone the way of the Rowville Tigers, the Rowville Hawks at least. What a win, 100-97 at the Bull Ring.
Anyone would have thought they'd won the flag.
Well, they probably won the minor premiership, to be honest, after that win.
Yeah, they've won the double chance.
They've won the minor premiership and the double chance, unless they trip up against Berwick. But what an incredible game. So 16-4-100 to 14-13-97. The goal kickers, I tell you what, my score sheet is all over the shop. Besto, yours is a bit neater, so if you could run through the goal kickers.
It's not flash, but for Rowville, their major goal kickers, I had McDonald with 2, Young had a couple, Arundel 1, Seedsman got a couple, Taylor got 3, Davey 1. I probably missed a couple, actually.
McDonald got 3, you forgot the game winner, Besto.
Sorry, I forgot about the last one. Zijai got 1 and a couple to Coldclough. And then we go down to Noble Park before we go to the boundary. Single goal kickers to Marson, Ball, Horton, Milne and Martin. A couple to Byers, 3 to Benjamin Marson. A couple to Allen and Beach and Stern also as we go boundary side.
Be good if we could get Ben Wise.
Well, we can, but Blake's out there with, I think, the match winner.
G'day, guys. Yeah, just got Lockie McDonald. Lockie, mate, what a game of footy, eh?
Yeah, it was unreal in the end. They came out pretty hard and we sort of just stuck in there and, yeah, fought out to the end.
What was going through your head? Do you know how much time was left in the game when you went back for the set shot?
No idea. I knew there'd probably be about a minute to go. I didn't really want to kick it after the siren, so I tried to quickly get through my routine and, yeah, just went through basics, tried to kick through it.
Awesome. Thanks very much for joining us, mate. We'll get you back in the huddle.
Well, under Will Faulkner and Blake Tennant, if they could grab Benny Wise, that would be great. But there's a lot of Rowville people out there, and I tell you what, I wouldn't back the way Will's dressed. I wouldn't back him to just sort of slink through there unnoticed. But what a game of football here, Ray Baird.
Look, it was a fantastic game, a good episode for the Eastern Football League. But look, credit must go to the guy that you called a lot in the second half. It was Shook.
Yeah.
Shook, when they moved him into the midfield.
I don't know if they're giving it to us here or they're giving it to the boys on the balcony. I think it's the boys on the balcony.
Boys on the balcony. Don't worry about that. No,
but Mitchell Shook was really good.
When Ben Wise moved Shook there and he put Lua down to the full back, Brolick to full forward, which we were a little bit worried why he did. But he's body on body in the one-man contest.
We've got Will Faulkner down there on the boundary.
Okay.
Just got the Rowville coach, Ben Wise, mate. You must be really proud of the way your boys fought out.
Yeah, it was. It's amazing when you have a bit of a belief. That's as good as win as the footy club's had in a long time since I've been here. Anyway, just the belief has been outstanding.
Geez, it was definitely a finals preview, that's for sure. Like you would admit, you guys were down 37 points at halftime. What was your message? Like, what was the key message?
I don't reckon they could have played any better. I thought they had us all over the ground and we just had to reset. We weren't playing good footy and we just got back to playing the way we wanted to. Had a couple of positional moves. We had our ruckman go down. So just a bit of speed around the footy and we brought the effort in the contest. So it's, really good effort.
Well, I think you've really locked up the minor premiership. You must be really proud. You know, no one really put you guys, up the high of the ladder. You must be really proud, and especially proud of the club as well.
Yeah. It's obviously didn't. We haven't been given much of a shot all year, and everyone just is waiting for us to sort of stumble. But hopefully this shuts up a few people, and they just enjoy the watch.
Yeah. All right, go and enjoy it, mate. You must be really proud.
Thanks to Blake Tennant down there with Ben Wise on the boundary line. I guess Ben Wise might have been talking to me, Ray, because I think I've been one of them that's been waiting for them to maybe trip up at a hurdle. And I thought today they would trip up, and I was right for one half, and I was very wrong for the second half.
Well, Matty, there's been a lot of people in the Eastern Football League who have been waiting for them to trip up. But look, as you know, I've seen a lot of them, and the more I've seen of them, the more you believe, because that football they played in the last quarter and a half of that game just now, that's the football they've been playing all year. All credit goes to Noble Park. They worked out a way to shut them down for 2.5 quarters, but once they broke the shackles, that's the way Rowville have played their football.
But even you, Ray, as an ardent Rowville supporter, did you really think they could come back from where they were?
Not from where they were last year.
No, today.
Well, I thought they would get back within, say, 3 goals because they finished games off well. I thought, okay, but to kick 10 goals, without a behind after half time, that no one would ever pick that.
That's actually a great thing that Paul picked up on. Not only did they start winning the game, but they made it count. They didn't waste opportunities, which can sometimes deflate you.
Yeah. And even in the first half, Paul said every time they went inside forward 50, they scored, didn't they? So that was one big plus.
Look, we're running it. We better get some votes done here because we've only got 6 or 5.5 minutes, really. I think, Bruce, or 5.5. No, we've got 7.5 minutes here to wrap things up. So we'll start over there. Jared, you're in the score centre. Any big scores before we get into the votes?
Well,
Blake will be happy with the Tros. 14-18, 102 over Bayswater, 9-8, 62. I suspect that's final scores. Mitcham have blown out Beaconsfield, 17-5, 107 to 11-5, 71. Just taking a look around, Waverley Blues really consolidating themselves on top of the Division 3 ladder, 124 to 64 over Domvale. Whitehorse winning away from home. That's a huge one.
And Fair Park remain alive.
And Fair Park remain alive. So Whitehorse 103 to Scoresby 57. Fair Park, on the other hand, 28 to 117 to Warrandyte. Ferntree Gully, they went out winners 71 to 47 against Coldstream.
And I believe Berwick have won. So unfortunately, despite North Ringwood winning their game against Doncaster, Berwick will remain in the Premier Division, and North Ringwood have been relegated. So we know all sides that are being relegated now, unfortunately. We know that North Ringwood are down, Upper Gully are down, Oakley are down, Glen Waverley are down, but there's still one spot, of course. Fair Park and Scoresby next week. Besto, we'll start with you. 3-2-1 for the Eastland Player of the Day.
Oh, geez, it was tough, wasn't it? I went with, we'll start with my one vote. It was a bit of a difficult one, but I gave it to McDonald. He kicked 3 goals, including the match winner. Probably could have given it to a half a dozen other players, including Seedsman, who went into the ruck and was really good and kicked a couple. 2 votes. Where are my 2 votes? I've lost my place. I went to Lou. He was absolutely magnificent, Lou. He had a fantastic game, really came into it towards the end, and I went with Mitch Schrook for my 3.
Okay, I'll go quickly. I've got 1 vote to Chris Horton-Milne. I know he sort of went out of it in the last quarter, but his performance in the first 3 quarters, especially the first 2 out of the middle, he had countless clearances and really started the ball rolling for the Bulls. 2 votes. Mitchell Schrook gets it. I was tempted to go with Mav Taylor after his last quarter and a bit, Ray, but Schrook was one of the only Hawks that played 4 quarters today. That's the scary thing. They've won this without playing the first quarter, really. But Schrook stood up when Mobile were all over them in the first and second quarter. And then my 3 votes, Lockie McDonald. I think he would have had close to 30, as he has had all year. 3 goals. And to kick that goal under that pressure, like I know he said to Will and Blake, he just went through his routine, but God, he must have been absolutely crapping them. What about you, Brash?
I've given 1 vote to Kieran Byers. I thought his efforts in the ruck this afternoon were sensational. I've given 2 to Lockie McDonald. Sensational game from him. But for mine, Mitch Schrook, I think that was the move of the match, coming off that half-back line, putting him in the midfield. He gave him that grunt, that run, and that was all they needed, Rowville, and he got them going and sent them on their merry way to victory.
What about you, Raymond?
1 vote I gave to Kyle Martin. Look, he had a lot of the ball in the first 2.5 quarters. 2 votes I gave to Ben Marsden. He gave them an opportunity down there, and he kicked 3 or 4 goals. And I'll go with you guys. Mitchell Shook, 3 goals, 3 votes.
Paul?
Yeah, I'll go Kyle Martin. He was magnificent in helping get Rowville into the contest, winning the game from. That's where my 3 votes go.
Kyle Martin or Mitchell Shook?
Kyle
Martin for Noble, 1 vote. That's 1 vote. What about your 2 and 3?
My 2 and 3, my 2 votes go to Nashwood.
Yep.
And my 3 votes go to Mitchell Shrug.
Yep, so Mitchell Schrook looks like he's running away with it. Blake and Will, any opposing views there?
No, I've got the same. We've had this before, but Kieran Byers, 1 vote, thought he was awesome. 2 votes give to Lockie McDonald, and 3, no shock, Mitch Schrook.
Well done. So Mitch Schrook looks like he's our Eastland Player of the Day. Blakey, you agree with all
correct.
those?
Just superb all day, competed, just an absolute warrior.
So Mitchell Schrook, 3 votes. Goal of the day. I don't. It has to be Luke Bull's left foot banana.
Yeah,
I don't know. I might send Blake down there to take that photo. I don't know if Noble Rooms are the place you want to go right now. But that was goal. That was magnificent. At the time, it looked like it was going to be the match winner, Besto.
Yeah.
And I think we all just. It was a great call, and then everyone just lost their proverbial minds, because they're the sort of goals that you might pull off when you're 30 points up, not 3 points down.
Exactly.
So
there was a few good goals today.
Joshua Stern in the first quarter.
There was plenty of great goals, but the ball one, I mean, it seems funny to give it to a losing side, but it certainly was. There was nothing better.
No, you can win goal of the day in a 100-point loss as long as you kick a good one. Yeah. And then the Eastland 4 Workers Workman of the Day, Mitchell Shook's won it. I thought he was probably a shoe-in for that.
I give it to Lockie McDonald.
Lockie McDonald, he tried hard all day.
I'd go with that.
Yeah.
I like the work of a lot of players. You could give it to almost everyone. There wasn't a player out there today that had a poor game. I thought Jai Colclough had a poor first half, but then he kicked 2 goals and set up a couple. Even Jake Arundel only had maybe 10 or 15 touches, but when he got it,
but he kicked the first goal of the game for them, and he kicked the
he set up a couple of goals.
And I thought Tyrese Lou's last half, 7 or 8 real crucial possessions.
Well, I gave him a couple of votes. I thought he was really, really good.
Well, and I like that move from Ben Wise, Ray. that's something that'll, because Lou, like I said on the call, he's what, 19, 20 years old, so he's coming in. Everyone's talking about him coming from Carlton VFL. There's rumoured to be AFL scouts having half a look at him, and everyone's expecting him to come down and dominate. But it's very good football. He struggled as a forward ruck. Put him back, give him a job, simplify it, and he took a couple of really key intercept marks, won some hit outs in that last quarter that not only stopped Noble scoring, but actually set up Rowville scores.
Exactly.
So it's a massive, massive win there for Rowville. Paul, if you want to give Jared the headset, mate, we might just get him to go through. We've got a couple of minutes. Jared, if you just want to go through some of the key scores from around the grounds before we go for another afternoon of football.
Well, unfortunately, there was a game that was stopped at around half-time. Bullen versus Doncaster East, a serious enough injury to end the game. Well, our thoughts are with the whichever player it was that went down there. Bullen ran out winners 10-8-68 to Doncaster East 7-3-45. Berwick have beaten Blackburn and inadvertently knocked out North Ringwood from Premier Division for next year. Berwick won, or at least the scores here are Berwick 5-8-38 to Blackburn 4-5-29. North Ringwood, they took the chocolates over Doncaster East 13-9-87 to Doncaster 51. And were there any more scores? What do we...
Just some of the key ones, mate. Basin, did the Basin and Templestowe?
Yeah, Basin, they went out 130-52. That's
so the Basin,
absolute smashing.
The Basin will be back in 5th spot, I believe, with a playoff between... If they beat Mulgrave, they are home. And then Division 3, we believe Whitehorse have beaten Scoresby.
Yep, 103-57.
So Fair Park is still in it. And the biggest, I guess one of the big stories was Lee Kimpton's 100 goals today down there against Sternside. Well, we better go here. It's been an absolute thriller here at Pat Wright Senior Oval. Noble Park 14-13-97. Defeated by Rowville 16-400. On behalf of Matt Fode, I'd like to thank Brett Beston, Wayne Brasher, Ray Baird, Paul Uconi, Jared Beelan, Blake Tennant, Will Faulkner, Bruce Prest and Lee Green. It's been one of the games of the decade between Noble Park and Rowville. That score again, the Hawks 16-400, kicking 11 goals to 3 after half time to win by 3 points over the Bulls to sit back on top of the Premier Division ladder.